Very good evening to you, one and all. Another night for ESL Pro League as we delve deeper into the very end of the season. Season 6, time flies when you're having fun. Up on tonight's show, we've got plenty of games for you. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson. We've got our analysts. I'll introduce you to them in just a moment. First of all, though, your games on the cards tonight. We get to see some Scandinavian affairs going on. We have, in fact, the Swedes, NiP, taking on the Danes, who are just battling to stay in the league, Pro League. It is, of course, heroic. And we have Astralis Envy as well. Train and Nuke, the maps to be played out between Astralis, who still need wins in order to secure their place in the UNSA finals. That's going to be going down all on tonight. 10:30 estimated to be starting those final games. On the secondary stream, more heroic if you're really craving it. That is something to look forward to, as the Vikings will be taking on North in a bit of a domestic derby there. That is on your secondary stream. You better check all of that out. And this is just a little taste, a little glimpse at what you guys have to look forward to as you whet your appetite as we prepare to delve deeper into some Counter-Strike. I don't know if that's going to get you excited. It certainly does me and our analysts as well. Once again, reintroducing you to the lovely, deadly duo. I like to call them Sponge and Wanko, but you can call them whatever you want. We do, of course, have... What's up?
Is that because Yanko kills people and I live in a land where everything kills me?
That's that's a nice way to think about it. Yeah, we have a murderer and someone that's likely going to get murdered by anything that flies around.
No, I'm a murderer as well.
You just like to mix things up. Yeah.
I meant in the game. I meant in the game. I meant in Counter.
Yeah. I watched the frag movie. It was actually... Have you seen his frag movie, Chad?
No, I haven't.
It's worth checking out. It's like 3 minutes.
Chad
it's like spicy.
Me, but it's a great edit. I just wish I could have given him more to work with, you know. It's only a 3 minute
did he message you? Like, did he say like, hey, can I make a frag movie? Or
no,
was it just
he
surprise?
just like made it and tagged me that he was making one, and I was like, oh god,
what have you found?
This right now. I'm doing great, you know. I'm doing work for everyone. Don't remind people how much I used to suck, but you know, there were a couple of good moments in my career. You
killed the same guy like 900 times. It was Nico's cousin, you said, or brother? I love that.
Nico's cousin, Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, poor old Hunter. He got beaten up a lot. Worth checking out, though. Would recommend. I like the edit and I like the song. Anyway, let's go ahead and kind of continue to steer the ship in the right direction. We've already mentioned that this is the last week, the penultimate week of the sixth season of the ESL Pro League, and the standings start mattering a whole lot. We'll bring them up for you so you can digest, and our analysts will help you as well. What do people need to start looking at with all these numbers on the screen?
Fnatic in the #1 position. They have secured themselves on the road to Odense, a spot in the finals. So they're the first team locked in. That's one of the things you definitely have to look towards. And then there's that battle for the remainder of the spots, right? And crazily enough, I think going into last night, even Na'Vi had a chance, right? Things have changed since then. The other talking points, I think, in tonight's matches is NiP really need those points against Heroic.
Astralis too.
Yep. Envious, you know, they still in contention to strike and get into that top 6. Still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played.
Yeah, the number is 47, if anyone is interested. 47 points is the current cutoff for the 6th best performance.
Yeah, I feel that the top 4 teams are pretty much set. You know, I think FaZe, Astralis, and North are going to end up qualifying, and then it's up for those last 2 spots. We saw G2 is there, NiP is there. We're going to see them tonight after a while. And Hellraisers are also on the brink of it, so we might have some upsets towards the very end.
And I mean,
there, Envious.
We talked about the surprise initially of Fnatic maintaining performance. They had a bit of a drama throughout this season, and yet managed to hold the top spot throughout all of this. And they're the first team qualified. I know, Chad, you were looking on social media. They were rather happy chappies.
Yeah, just made a couple of tweets there. It's JW 2-0 versus FaZe, which means secured a spot in the LAN finals. When everyone got Monster Gaming in them, everyone played good CS. Good effort from everyone tonight. And then we got one from Golden. He's very understated. He's happy.
Yeah, great team effort. I like that they're all focusing on team effort, not like I played a good game or we played a good game. It's just team focus.
That's been the new Fnatic, right? That's been the brand of Counter-Strike they've been having. And, you know, within that system that Golden or, you know, Jumpy, we can't actually point the finger too much, has set up now. We're seeing the good individual performances from the likes of JW, Lecro, Crims, everybody coming to the forefront.
Yeah, it's really good to see.
Yeah, I think the next step for Fnatic is, you know, to perform on LAN.
Sure.
Right, because early on it was Malmo, but that was like very early on in the team's creation, pretty much, and they're doing great in ECS as well in the online part. They're probably going to end up qualifying for that. So now it's up to them to show something on LAN, and we can see if they're going to be a real contender moving forward.
Yeah, currently there is a very clear asterisk next to their results and their successes, where you even saw like Fnatic's kind of management tweeting like, really awesome to see you dominating online. It's like, it's always going to have to be that in brackets, in parentheses.
Yeah, it's not even calling them online. It's not like they can't play online. It's just a matter of, you know, seeing it online in a series perhaps, or in a best of 3, right, where they maybe have to play maps on which they're not 100% comfortable on, and so forth. It's always a different atmosphere compared to online games.
And the atmosphere for Astralis, of course, they're not far. The local boys to us here in the studio of Copenhagen is going to be, can they secure it tonight? I mean, that's the real question, is that everyone's wondering. We've got Astralis taking on Envy. We have NiP Heroic. In fact, what we can do, just to put everything into perspective for today's games, is actually bring up their remaining games. That might help for you guys to understand and comprehend exactly what they have on the cards. So let's think about this. NiP's opponents. From, you know, an initial point of view, you could suggest that could be 6 points waiting to happen.
This is somewhat favourable, but in the sense of if they lose to those opponents, that gives them a chance to get into the top 6 as well. So those are going to be some very highly contested matches there with NiP, I think. Heroic, you know, same boat. They kind of have to win everything if they want to make it. The Astralis one, like Janko said, you consider them in a pretty good spot, but to build on your point, it'd be nice just to get it done. You know, not have to worry, not have to stress coming that final day, the 11th, where they're going to be playing mouse spots. Anything could happen in that matchup. So I think, you know, Astralis tonight, this is their chance just to get it out of the way. 6
points is what Astralis needs. So 2 wins tonight without overtimes in regulation would put them in the finals in Odense, which I think for them is certainly, it feels like a must-have, you know, in their city.
100%.
They live here. They don't get Danish stadium events all the time. I mean, this is going to be something for them.
Absolutely, especially considering the fact that they failed to qualify for the last season's finals, them and FaZe. That was a big storyline back then, so definitely want to participate this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we talk about these finals, we get all excited about exactly who's going to be competing. Well, who's going to be there in the stadium? That's the question we're asking. We know one YouTuber is. In fact, you would definitely recognize him. Tweeday spoke to us, as well as getting you guys hyped up on the path to Odense.
Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm gonna be making my way out of this chair finally in December again for the ESL Pro League finals in Denmark, Odense. You can join me, we can have a good time, we can watch the best teams in the world battle it out for the trophy.
Nice, no scope, looks for the other. Device! How sick!
Good luck, everybody. See you in Odense.
In fact, closing the show yesterday regarding Heroic and NiP, in fact, more specifically NiP, and how we hadn't seen too much of them. They've kind of haven't been at the offline events that we've been traveling to, and we haven't seen too much of them even in Pro League. So an unknown quantity at this point.
True, the last big tournament we saw them at was E-League group stage, where they actually lost to Envious 2-1 in a very close affair where RPK had that great game. So that gave them a lot of time to just work on things. You know, they did have this lineup for a while now. You feel like it's been before the player break that they made the change, so everything should be set in terms of roles, who plays what positions, and it's just about ironing things out and maybe changing some things, adding more variety to their playbook.
I personally would love to see Rez and Draken really hit their stride, to see, you know, the youngsters of the Swedish scene taking the mantle from some of the old dogs.
I think that's something they definitely should have focused on, is how do we make Draken more consistent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the meme with the 30-degree angle is actually like decently accurate.
Yeah, it's not really a meme, is it?
It's a reality.
Which is a problem, you know. I think viewers need to realize this. Like, it's great if you have an Opera who can hit those flicks, but that should just be a bonus on what he already can do, which is hit like the quote-unquote easy shots, right? The ones that he's supposed to hit.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think, you know, when this change happened and they brought Rez in as well, I thought, okay, this is what they're going to build around for the new NiP. But what seems to have happened is, sure, they have their flashy moments, but it's still Forrest and GetRight as the 2 stars who are putting up the big numbers in the games that matter. And that's an exciting prospect in itself, that they're still able to do this. Nurturing the talent is going forward for, like, obviously we're going to see good things coming out of that, but if Forrest and GetRight can continue a decent level, that's also a positive for them.
And it's also important, like, these players in these teams, they're not just looking to win, like looking for a way to win. everyone can win a tournament like these days if you have a good run, you know, so many skilled players and so forth. They're looking for a way to win consistently, right? And that's the problem with NiP and maybe Draken as a player. And there are other examples. It's not just him, you know, in the pro scene, that his style, like, is very inconsistent. When he plays well, when it works, like, then it's amazing. All these highlight rounds, it really gets NiP that extra step. But if you're in that team, you're feeling it. This is great, but we need like something else. We can't rely on that every single time. We need to have a system, something that works, that we can rely on time and time again.
Similar with Heroic in a way, you know, Yugi, that kind of AWPer from their team, he can be very flary, he opens up rounds for them and stuff, and he's probably more consistent than Drake, and I would say, with the AWP, but sure, there's that same level there. If he doesn't show up, what does Heroic have? Not a lot. That's when you hope for like a consistent performance from someone like Modi, Nico to be a potential star, you know, Snappy doing the in-game leader stuff, we never really put too much onus on him, and S-Tag has been relatively disappointing, I think, you know, everyone would say.
Yeah, and Snappy just had a great tournament for them now in China, you know, throughout the tournament he was one of the best performers, which was something you don't necessarily want to see as the in-game leader. It's not like, you know, Yugi or Nico were slacking too much, but it's mostly Modi you expect to be that third star within the team with his experience, and he has been a couple of times on LAN, but a very underwhelming performance from Heroic in China.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with the S-Tag storyline and how that hasn't kind of transferred into anything more exciting. He was he had flair for sure, but I don't want to run out of time because there is another talking point for Heroic that I'd love to hit on, and that's that we got a new announcement today.
Definitely so, yeah. So if people missed the news, Peacemaker, formerly the coach of Tyloo, yeah. So look,
somehow he finds work again.
Let's do just a quick little look here at the teams that he has coached for since. This is the 10th of February 2016. Gamers Academy, they moved to Tempo Storm, so he was still with them. That's the same team. Yeah. Then he moved to Team Liquid. He coached them for a while. Moved to NRG as a coach for a short period of time. Went to Misfits.
A month.
Tyloo. And now he's at Heroic. And that
Optic
is all within in the span of a year and a half.
Optic before Misfits.
They don't have it here because I think he was just on trial.
Yeah, okay, he didn't pass his trial.
But you're right, he was there coaching. Yeah, he was definitely there coaching.
He was there in Katowice when they were 0-5.
He's been around the world. He's coached quite a few different teams, 3 different continents now he's been to. But basically, he had a twit longer when it was announced today. I had the inside goss. I was at the refresh office yesterday. I saw him there. Kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Spying.
2 + 2 is 4 quick maths.
But basically, the key takeaway here that I think would surprise everybody was when he was talking about the time with Tyloo, he mentioned that the language barrier was an issue.
Oh, really? Who would have thought?
Well, okay, to be fair, I've heard from other teams, other Chinese teams looking for English-speaking coaches to go over and then use a translator and stuff. Sure, that's a problem. The way that I looked at it working would be you prep the team so well before going into a matchup that every single decision has been made. But coaching can be so on the fly. Things can happen that you don't expect. So it was basically, I don't know if people saw it, but it was Peacemaker communicating with banter, then translating as best he could in Chinese that he had to learn, which he didn't know beforehand, to the rest of the team for them to be able to get an idea of what Peacemaker wanted. And then when they added Bondic as well, I'm sure that just added more mess.
I think that was the main problem. If banter can speak fluid Chinese and fluid English, then it's fine. You know, just quickly tell it to a guy, and then he translates to the rest of the team. But because he is struggling to speak in Chinese, and maybe even his English isn't, 100%, then it just creates a mess for the live game. You know, when you're preparing for the game, that's when you have the actual translators or the team managers and so forth helping you out.
Right. But I mean, you've got someone speaking in their second language, Peacemaker, to someone who's speaking English as a third language, Bentet, who then proceeds to try and speak to Bondic and the Chinese players who don't speak English or
it's just
Bondic.
Like it's a mess,
that's a rabbit hole. I would never want to go down.
Yeah, and that would have been a very stressful time, I think, for everybody, right? But the question becomes, obviously, Peacemaker's changed between a lot of teams. It's just, what is he looking to bring, right? What are they trying to get out of him? Do they want someone to be the structure and the backbone, to be the authority figure? Because that's the way it kind of seems with Peacemaker. It doesn't look like he's the kind of guy who's the fire-up guy. He's not like a Zeus or a Zonic or someone like that.
Doesn't seem like he makes compromises as well.
Well, we've heard, from Liquid and that kind of stuff, there was obviously some negative vibes, but we don't have all sides of the story. Sure. We just have the ones that kind of get out there, right? So he might have a completely different view on the way everything went down, but it's very difficult from an outside view looking in to see. I have a very hard time looking at what the coaches do at all because I never get to see behind that curtain. And it's not like if you're a team.
You do see the results, though.
That's true. That is true. And the results for, Tyloo were what you would expect. They didn't really do anything crazy, right? They didn't win any events.
There was more structure, though. There was more European structure.
I think more than anything else, this just speaks volumes to how much demand there is for coaches. If you hire a guy who has been through 6 teams in the last year and a half, you know, or so, and hasn't had significant success with some of them. You know, Liquid, the run at the major was great and all of that, but that's been, you know, more than a year ago. Then it's just like, okay, so we didn't have anyone else. You saw Godsend was tweeting out on like Twitter, hey, we need a coach, apply to this, you know. So there's definitely demand for coaches, a lot more than there is supply at the moment.
Oh, I think for sure. And I mean, the same can be said for in-game leaders, just heads that understand Counter-Strike. I'm sure you guys would have no trouble should you decide to be behind the camera. Would work absolutely, you know, there would be demand. There really is, just for anyone that has a different perspective on the game and that can help you enhance your gameplay.
Well, maybe soon, Alex, because now we have these, you know, sports teams with their millions of investing.
I coach the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And venture capital, nice. So maybe they can afford us now.
Yeah, I coach for an NFL team. You do? Really? Yeah, no, I do, I promise. Video games. Video games is what I want to talk about now, guys, because now Peacemaker obviously has had no time to really make too much of an impact. He's just going to be there to watch and get a feel for the team, but also what are our expectations for Overpass and NiP Heroic? The Ninjas, sure. I mean, without knowing what they're playing like at the moment, I assume expectations are set on them.
Yeah, I would lean towards NiP, because what we saw recently from Heroic was far from impressive. You know, they've had some good showings, like qualifying for the E-League playoffs, for example, but that's just been, you know, a burst here and there. There has been no consistency to their performance. And NiP, with the time that they've had to just practice and figure things out, I think they should look good coming out of the gates.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Heroic have had a really rough time lately. You know, just looking at their most recent results, they lost 2-0 to VP, they lost 2-0 to Hellraisers, 16-3 last night against Astralis, and 16-6. So
God damn, they didn't get double digits across 2 maps.
Yeah, so they're in a bit of a rough boat, and I think, you know, it's definitely going to be difficult transitioning with a new coach, a new way of doing things. I think you're bang on there that he can only sit back in the beginning and see how things work before actually trying to put a concise plan in place. I'm going to lean towards NiP as well. I think, you know, Yugi can be very disruptive, especially with the combat AWP style on the CT side. He gets in their face, he goes for picks all across the map, but that's a very big burden to put on one player. And in the past, when I've seen them playing, even when he gets that first pick, a lot of the time they're not able to convert those 5v4 scenarios anyway. So that's just a massive kick in the posterior,
Phallus.
I suppose. Yes, yeah, for Yugi. So poor kid.
I mean, so yeah, okay. So that, in our kind of what to watch out for checklist for you guys at home and for us watching here in the studio is going to be, you know, do we get a bit more consistency from Draken? There's no doubt that that's going to be a project for NiP. They want their AWPer kind of in some degree of a consistent basis. Yugi, is he going to be putting the team in his backpack again? Because when he's on, he is truly a very intimidating presence on the serve. We've heard from a lot of players, right, Chad, that he's a genuine force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
however, there's not that much of a backup for him currently.
Well, the thing is, like, when you're getting an opening kill for your team almost every round, or, you know, quite a few rounds, that you're going to be looking to, you know, convert at least some of them. It's just like, I don't even think it's him who's over peaking, because I watch and he goes for that pick, he gets that kill and he backs right off. He's playing, you know, fundamental Counter-Strike. Maybe it's just more about having a game plan in place for everybody else, or maybe not playing scared. I think that's something which you may tend to do. You go, okay, we have the number advantage now, let's just hold back. Normally that's the right thing to do, but, you know, you have to play with a certain amount of bravado in situations.
Most recent results on Overpass do tell somewhat of a story. We saw an absolute dominant performance from NiP against G2 on this very map, 16-5 victory. In the meantime, Heroic, they got 16, was it 3 or 6? Excuse me, let me double check that. Yeah, 16-3, 16-6 versus the likes of Astralis. So it does look like the future could be bleak for this matchup. We'll find out, though, with your casters. They're going to be telling the whole story. It's Henry G and Sadikist.
Oh, get cut off, Alex. That was get wrecked. Mid-word? He'll get to us all. Happens to the best of us. Listen, the best of us are right here. It's Henry G and Sadikist. The others are in the server. They're okay. It's NiP Heroic. What do you think?
I think this would be a very good game, actually. The fact we got an Overpass as well, that's actually one of the maps that Heroic are a little bit of a specialist on. They've had some upset victories here in Pro League. On this map, Yugi can be deadly going up against, of course, Draken. That'll be quite a nice battle to follow, I think. It's always an AWP-centric map.
Yugi excites me when he plays well. We don't see it enough of that breakout. Even over the course of a whole game, you'll see it like 1 or 2, 3 rounds maybe, and you're like, wow, this guy's great. And then the rest of the game is quiet.
Yeah, it's sometimes like he doesn't go off, but when he does, it's quite phenomenal. We'll get into it, shall we? It will be NiP on the T side here. 4 sets of armor exist with the smoke and the flashbang, and they'll be focusing towards the long A by the looks of things. It's quite rare to see that. Most teams will go towards B on the pistol. Obviously, with the Glock, you want to be close range, get in the faces. Can be quite deadly to go towards long with the USP advantage in terms of the one-tap headshot potential. It's going to be NiP to defend that area. He's by himself now, focusing on middle. So long is open. They still have their smoke. They could use that towards the end of long, maybe towards the bank. Depends how brave they're feeling. Obviously, use the smoke at the end is going to give away that you're coming in that position. It's going to be snapping out to head over towards long. I think he spotted one. We'll call for the rotations right now, and that should be the final commitment from NiP.
Should be, as Snappy will garner some support inside of the site. Get behind his tag immediately. Good rotation, unfortunately caught off by Forrest, who gets both, in fact. So Forrest on a pistol, showing us some retro CS. Nico is in a prime position. Okay, fair enough. Prime position. Unfortunately, one bullet left. He still finds Exist. He gets the reload in. There was 2 bullets when he found that shot. Not to mislead you. 1 bullet left over after the exchanges, despite the 2 kills. It's Forrest that still waits to get back in. USP looking for his 3rd of the round. Does good damage, but can't find Nico, who gets his 3rd, and therefore possibly the round altogether, because Marty just has to collect on Draken.
Nico somehow recovers from that situation. The fact he missed so many bullets in the back, it was a great flank coming from the bathrooms. Misses 11 shots. The 12th, though, that's a beauty. Manages to pull it off with 1 bullet remaining. Gets 3 in total. Decent retake from Heroic. Here's the replay. So, gets the kill eventually, but lucky to be alive at this point. 1 bullet left in the clip. Pulls it off, reloads, and gets a 3rd. Very well done, I guess.
Yes.
Towards the end, it all came together.
I'll give it to
you. Bomb going down for an NiP. They will not be buying into this round. It's number 2. Let's get upgraded pistols here, some PT-50s and Deagles, and they'll be getting the AKs out in round number 3. Have Heroic prepared for that. They've got 2 rifles themselves, a couple of M4A4s there, a UMP, the Scout, in the hands of Yugi, like we said, the player to watch on the Heroic side, on this map especially, an S-Tag. A player that's yet to impress me. I heard a lot about his skill potential. Didn't really see it a couple of lands he's been at. He's been underperforming in my book. But we'll see if he can step up here today. We'll go towards long once again for an NiP. No smokes, no flashbangs. It's going to have to be brave. As I head back towards the bathrooms, let's try and find 1 kill first. Find an opening and see what's available to them.
What is on the market? And how much can they get? A stag forward? Doesn't get shot down at all, actually, despite the exchange being rather open. Draken and Get Right have made things interesting, getting in toward the site. And Get Right will smoke off the back dumpster, which allows for yet another plant on the NiP side. Get Right will go forward. He has to res. Last alive with him is at least picked up an M4. They don't have armor on either player, and I was going to say, unfortunately, Get Right's going to get caught in the open. They certainly did get res. It's Get Right versus 3. No armor. Yugi gets the shot.
Decent bomb plant from NiP. That's all they really wanted. Came in with almost nothing there. PT-50s, 1 Deagle and a Glock. They get the bomb down, a couple of kills. That's going to make things weak for Heroic into the next round. They keep their M4s, but they're up against the mighty AK-47s and all the utility. They might even be able to bring out an AWP if they really wanted to. They can definitely afford one. It'd be glass cannon, meaning no armor, but I think your best bet, go for the 5 AK-47s to have all the utility, set piece onto a bomb site like B, where they're unlikely to have all the firepower. So Snappy down to the UMP. It's well recovered by Heroic, but they're going to be very weak going into this round. If they do lose this to NiP, it's going to be double Eco Town. 4 smokes for the Ninjas. And maybe a bit of aggression here from the CTs. You can see it will be Snappy and Yugi heading towards middle, hunting for that first pick. As they push up towards Fountain, it's going to be Rezdo who goes to the first pick as a contact play with basic execution. Some dinks coming in there from S-Tag, but not really much more than that. Marty, though, he's stepping up tremendously.
3 kills on the way through, drops bomb as well. Nico chimes in for 1, which means Marty won't get an ace, but Get Right, nowhere to go, unfortunately. Will try and smoke himself off behind and isolate it down to a peak position at short tunnel. I say he's got no chance in this. He's got it down to a 1 versus 2. The problem being that he only has 21 HP in the 1 versus 2.
But it is Get Right with a minute remaining. All it takes is 1 kill, outposition 1 player, bomb down, and it becomes very interesting. It looks like that won't be happening. I think Nico spotted him. Easy kill at that point. So Get Right certainly had potential in that one. Gets 2 kills. It was a simple approach there from NiP towards the B bomb side. I thought they'd be more methodical and try and bait out utility a bit more. But Moddy, he completely wrecks them here. Really nice play. Control tapping as well. Now that's a really difficult shot. You can just about see the head and the upper torso. And he just picks them off 1 by 1. A player that's been showing what he's made of recently. He's actually been getting better and better.
What are you made of, my man?
Well, that's the question. He has the answers as well. We'll have Molotovs towards top and middle. And Heroic looking good. I did say they're kind of specialists on the Overpass map. It seems like they get their biggest results here. And it will be res with an AK-47. I assume he has gone all in. He's gone down to $650. He didn't force buy in that round, but they didn't. Well, Geese getting upgraded pistols. He's got an extra couple of thousand maybe. He goes for that tactical purchase. Draken's joined him, which is interesting. Draken's the AWPer. He takes himself down to less than 2K.
Good shots. Yeah, very sharp and swift toward the fountain position. Swift indeed, as they'll hold off the bomb as well with the utility of incendiary thrown out. Finds Rez. Not bad. 3 kills for Yugi. It's about to be 4 shortly, because he's been, in fact, not touched at all in those exchanges. So 4 kills, no damage taken. Not bad.
4-0. Round number 5 coming in. Money okay for the Ninjas. Of course, they've lost bonus, of course, and they probably will buy this round. It's Rez and Draken, though, that are lacking a bit of cash. They can drop the orb if they kind of mix things up and trade guns over. So GetRight would have to drop the AWP and give that to Draken. Draken drop the AK. Let's see if they want to go forward with that sort of idea. Exist yet to frag. Very early days. We'll see how that goes. And Yugi not going to bring out the orb just yet. That's when things get dangerous to the Ninjas. He hasn't really died yet. So orb does come out, and NiP to drop that over to Draken. He gives the AK up to GetRight, who gets armor and a smoke as well. He had 6k. So there will be a full buy here, and presumably more of a default round. We haven't really seen that from NiP just yet. That contact play towards B didn't really work out for them. Nice idea, got the first trade, then Modi taking them down. Suddenly set the tone. Rez with the final buy there, he gets an AK and armor, no nades. That's $3,700 invested. All his cash. We'll get into it then.
And it's off toward A side once more for NiP. Aggressive toward the front of bathrooms for Yugi, but not on an AWP. He's got an AK. Gap in the smoke. Oh, I was thinking he was going to play that. Would have been an interesting choice, because typically you cross through the playground rather than in front of the fountain, which is exactly what they did do to establish a 3-man setup along. Snappy's gone very far forward. Good chance for flank. Forrest is the one that's watching to see if anyone will go around, and as always, GetRight is inside of the water position. Forrest is left. So now, what direction does Snappy go? Over toward B. Only GetRight that he'll be able to pincer in. And GetRight's already found Nico popping out from the bottom. Okay, that's unfortunate. The bottom of the stairwell, which means that even though he's going to be flanked out, he's actually bought an interesting amount of space. However, NiP's working back in the same direction, and Forrest coming in behind Snappy. It's a matter of who finds who first. I think GetRight goes down, and Snappy gets traded by Forrest. That's the prediction, but GetRight's going to check it. He's wise to it, and immediately gets the kill.
Well recovered by GetRight. He'll make his way towards the B side, but it's S-Tag to defend. Gets the first kill. Flashbang to come out, and if he gets 2 here, he could recover the situation. Good flash, sets Modi up, but he's got a massive task ahead of him. He's not going to be able to rise to the occasion. NiP managing to shut down the push there from Heroic. Heroic have been very aggressive, pushing out there towards Short and Monster. They get punished for it eventually. Their money's still okay. It's not magnificent, but it's enough to get the orbs out. Rifles, I think we'll have maybe 1 UMP. Indeed, we will for S-Tag. And Ninjas now, they'll be on the brink of a reset. Pretty much whoever wins this round will be guaranteed another. Both teams on the ropes. Round number 6 and the all-power for Draken. Same story for Yugi for the first time. This is where things become very interesting. He is glass cannon, but the angle he's holding might not matter. He gets flashed off towards long, has to drop down. Rez with the first frag. That's Nico, who is protecting Yugi with the AWP. Modi's been tacked up as well towards the B side of the map, so this is looking very good for the Ninjas right now.
Quite solid, as Yugi has positioned them out toward long on the AWP. Could find 1, but Rez is going to try and clear out bathrooms first, and then naturally would expect a 2-man peek for a trade. Looks increasingly to be the case. Top of that, Draken, toward the tree, the shot out from Yugi. It's a bit of a problem, because now he has nowhere to go. Flashed off, does manage 1 kill. Oh my goodness, don't let him turn around again. Exist will not.
Yeah, lucky to even get 1 there. I think that's probably about as good as it's going to get. No armor. Finds 1 kill, and this is the play from S-Tag. They've lost pretty much everything towards middle and long A, so the reaction from S-Tag is, I'm going to have to try and push towards T-spawn, see if I can get 1 in the back here. It's unlikely this works out, considering he's only got the UMP. By the time he gets to the T-steps, the range won't really be working in his favor. We'll see, though. It's up to Snappy to defend first. He's by the bathrooms. Won't be able to hear the NiP side on the in the bathroom area. GetRight could go down. Not going to be the case, though. Finds 1, and the UMP in the back does work out for S-Tag.
S-Tag's still going to rotate back in. AK in hand. You can't get it shot off. Yeah, couldn't get the shot off in time. Exist gets 2 kills. S-Tag and Modi go down. And we find ourselves 4-2. Still 4 heroic, but with money now for NiP. 2 rounds in a row and a broken economy on the CT side. Not entirely broken. They sit around 2K, so they'll be able to buy into the next round. But they'll have to full save here in order to do so. Full save at that. They get 1 flash for S-Tag. I'm not even sure what that's worth at this point.
Get right with the Mac 10. They're reading the situation very well. B site open as well. That's all I'll be heading, and it's a full stack towards middle with pretty much fully geared. It's P250 on Nico. USP's around in one flashbang, and with the contact play towards the B site, this won't yield anything but failure for the heroic side. The bomb will be planted. They might even just consider holding for exits. No point running in and giving away the kill rewards. We'll see what they can do. They'll push him out now. I think they've probably realised what's happening. Get right makes his way towards CT spawn. He'll be hunting for frags. Exists holding T spawn. Bomb planted, round over. And at this point, do you just save just the default weaponry just to make sure you don't give up anything? I guess if you hold around the T spawn area, like they are now, the steps, you could hope that someone overextends and you steal an AK away. As soon as they lose this frag, they might consider saving. The fact they dropped a smoke there means Heroic probably won't push any further. They will stack though. That's interesting. Draken spots it, takes him down, or maybe he doesn't. Can't quite hit the shot.
Couldn't quite hit the shot at all, Draken. Trying to stick around. Unfortunately, he went down. Forest is able to take out, well, a number of players. In fact, 4 overall for Forest. And Draken actually stayed 11-44. It was Exist that went down, but still, not bad from Forest overall.
Yeah.
As expected against pistols, but he'll take it. Building up the confidence.
Could have got 2 there. Forest very low HP, couldn't find the final few shots, but there it is. It will be.
Those are his first kills since the pistol round as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, he got 2 in the pistol. He's up to 6 now with those 4.
Difficult buy for Heroic here. They do get the 5 rifles out, but no defuse kits, 4 players of our helmets, and that could actually be a massive issue. Look at Get Right on the Mac 10. If he goes in towards short B, which he normally does, he could cause a lot of mischief in the B bomb site. We'll see what he decides to do. Likes to lurk in this area. This is where it became most notable, his lurking potential on this map, I would say. Always in B, everyone knows he does it, but the timing and the way he plays it is so difficult to contain.
It's all about sound cues as well, because you get so much of them from that position. There's so much movement inside of the B site normally. Yugi, meanwhile, is going to go back out with the M4, aggressive, but found by none other than Forest.
Wow.
Who has Exist beside him to find Snappy. This will open up the A site entirely. A Molotov to cover off the stairwell, and a second one at bank. A smoke additionally on top of that, a green dumpster. Can we call those stairs Oscar? Why have we not thought of that before?
Which ones?
The dumpster stairs.
Why would you call them Oscar?
Because Oscar the Grouch lived in a garbage can. Or was that Cookie Monster? No, it was Oscar. It was Oscar, yeah.
Cookie Monster wouldn't eat cookies out of a bin.
I mean, I would. You give me cookies, I'm down, bro. That chocolate chip, that peanut butter, though. Ooh. Little oatmeal chocolate chip, even.
It's not bad. Well, NiP look a lot more comfortable since their money stabilized. It's Heroic now, clutching at straws. They're trying to hold onto 2 M4s here. It's S-Stack holding long. Behind the rock, I believe he probably gets 1 here. Then he'll go down. There's the 1. Oh, gets both. Well played. That will keep NiP a little bit more modest.
Yeah.
The money's still very strong, but he'll manage to hold on to his rifle, and they can force up around that. They got 3 M4s right now. I'm going to say Heroic, this is probably how they lose this half. They keep buying. They're not getting stabilized at all. All they had a glass cannon. They're just not winning anything since 4-0. We'll see. They Snappy down to the UMP. They have got grenades this time. They like to use this approach where they Molotov the C-steps like that, and they're flashing over, and not necessarily pushing middle this time. They have explored that idea, but they're going towards Connector to challenge Forest. Snappy and Nika presented with a task. Obviously, the AK has the advantage in these situations, but both players there will come out on top. That's a good start. They can upgrade to an AK there. There it is. Snappy throws away the UMP. Smokes off the ladder to buy himself some time, and Draken, though, finds Nika. That's a little bit disappointing.
Ooh. Yugi, I thought he was going to shoulder peek that correctly. Gets taken down by Rez. That'll work. Man advantage for NiP. Little lineup for the smoke. Get Right, however, takes down Snappy. The bottom of mid, so that therefore means no one will be able to rotate back over to the bathrooms and catch them off. Good late positioning from Get Right as always. You're right, it is a good map for him, I think. Very good map. I think it's probably his best in this role.
That's why I think I first noticed how good he was. It was like a Gfinity in like 2014 when I was like, wow, like he really understands how he can penetrate the defenses and make them look foolish with the timings, and like get behind them in CT spawn, they'll have no idea. Like he can be really dirty sometimes. But he went for a slump when everyone started to download essentially what he did. He felt like his style wasn't working anymore, but now he feels more confident. I feel like ever since this change of the younger players coming in, he seems like he's gone back to his old ways, and he's
Well, it needs someone to create space. You can't just do that roll over and over and over again with no one creating space. So the fact that they have fragging potential in the newer players is great.
Yeah, if they can just find a pick and force a rotation, and he can listen to that sound cue and think, okay, there's probably only one player in here. I know his tendencies are to watch towards Monster or sit behind the barrels. Then he can exploit that by listening out for nades they're throwing. Or
the other thing, too, is if you typically, on the T side, if you get a kill, say, it doesn't even matter what map. We'll use Cash as a prime example, though.
Yeah.
If you get a kill on the T side on A, usually the CTs are going to push B to try and get further information and even the score, right? They know where you are at A, so they're not going to push that setup. And that's where Get Right strikes, because he's so good on the off-site.
A lot of players are doing that right now. If you look at MBK on the map by Cash, his teammates are getting ready in middle and B storage, and he's set up by the squeaky door all the time.
Yep.
And a lot of teams get tricked by the fact that his team finally commits towards B, and he opens up the squeaky door just to catch transitioning players from the A side towards B. Even if he spots no one, he's going all the way to CD spawn after that, and is coming down on them like a ton of bricks as he gets the backstab in.
I think you're right. The B lurk on this map in particular highlights the power of the lurk, but Cash is a perfect example of how the CTs rotate, because it's just very clear-cut map.
Absolutely. Like Dust 2 was like that a lot as well. If you remember
that's right.
Dust 2.
Distinct mid, distinct sites.
Someone like Scream would be pushing up the tunnels. As soon as someone went down on A or got picked to middle, he knows he has to get a pick, utilizing his aim, flashbang in, and just hope he can win the duel in upper B, because you can't allow a 5-on-4 situation with no information. You know they'll completely execute on top of you. You need to throw a spanner in the works. Even if you get a trade, like it slows down their execution potential. Well, 5-4, NiP take the lead, and Heroic have gone very, very flat indeed. The orb hasn't really come out as I imagined for Yugi. Like you mentioned, he sometimes has those very good days, or...
I think it's even round to round sometimes with him. He'll just like bust off and you'll be like, wow, where did that come from? And then gone again.
Well, an eco Sword Turf is a partial buy. We get Deagles, CZs, and some armor. Obviously, a maximum loss bonus on the CT side isn't enough to buy all the time, like it can be on the T side, especially with the bomb bonus. You sometimes have to take a partial buy like this, knowing you'll get 3,400 bucks. So they'll bring up potentially double ops next round if they wanted to. That's when they'll have a lot of money to work with. But for now, just try and find some opening picks. You can win these rounds, of course. Just comes down to the Danish Deagle, which pick can be very powerful indeed. The Danes seem to utilize that weapon the most. And as I say that, Yugi finds Rez with a nice little 1-dig towards the bathroom. Forest strikes back. 4-on-4 favors the T's, especially with this sort of weaponry. Nico in a duel of Get Right towards the underpass there. It's Nico, knows he's trapped. Forest waiting for him to return to the top of the steps.
Oof. For Forest to run back and hold off with the Molotov down as well. The fact that the rotations can't get behind them so quickly, which is nice because you don't want pistols to be running all rampant behind you. Get Right will further lock them in with the smoke. I think that's going to be pushed. I would take the chance on pushing it. Why not? You've only got a pistol. He won't go beyond the doorway as Snappy manages 1 kill inside of the site, but that's pulled back again and Exist and Get Right go to work. Get Right will join this time in the take, knowing they're against the pistols, but the pistol's still finding room, finding space. Rotation coming in from Modi, the last one that remains, and he's found quickly by Draken.
Was the eco, but they get 3 kills out of it. Wasn't necessarily comfortable for NiP, but the money situation is just so swollen for them. It doesn't really matter what kills you get against them. They're still hovering on the 5 digits area even after losing 3 players. So it's indicative as to where this game's going. Like I said, double orb was certainly an option here. They won't go for a heroic. It's going to be Yugi. He's on 9 kills. He's top fragging, but they haven't necessarily been super impactful. They had a 4-0 star with nice work from Nico in the pistol, but he's certainly dropped off since then. We'll take a pause. I think that's a good time to take it. It's going to be actually NiP they'll call that. I guess working out the money situation for Heroic and maybe changing things up right now. You've been quite methodical. You've done that one contact play. The rest of them have been default to working the connector, and it's coming out on top in terms of pure fragging. Exist has turned his game around. He was on like 0 and 5, I remember saying that.
Yeah.
And now he's on 10 for 6. He's actually at the top of the scoreboard, so well played.
Yep. Quietly going to work. Mid-round kills, typically trades.
Number 11, we have seen attempts of aggression from Heroic, but a little bit rattled since things started to go wrong. Snappy, the in-game leader, 4 kills for him. And we'll get into this one. We'll see if NiP, after the pause, have changed anything. Yes, it looks like a set piece towards B. From what I can see, they've always been very good with innovative smokes, and they'll be throwing those right off the bat, not necessarily committing towards B, and they've allowed CTs to push middle. Are they going to be aware of this prospect as the bomb goes back towards T steps? And yes, we have Snappy ready and waiting. Did he spot the player go by? It doesn't matter. He finds the bomb. Draken goes down, and it's at the Forest to recover the situation. He can't do it. But Rez on the other side of the map. This is an interesting round. Back and forth, 3-on-3. CTs right now are the advantage, considering they have the bomb smoked off by T-steps.
Smoked off by T-Steps indeed, and comfortably guarded as well. Interestingly, Get Right and NiP, both Get Right and Exist, want to come out from mid rather than rotate all the way around, which they'll leave that to Rez as he heads from the B side. If they get that bomb, B is wide open, so this becomes a brawl for position for the bomb control, and that seems to stick the way with Nico as he finds two.
That position behind the bench, that's actually really powerful. Like, you can spot the heads, they can't see you at all, and you'll protect it in that sense if you know T-Steps is covered. That's a really cool idea, and he's just won the round single-handedly with that smart position there towards the party area. So well played. That should be another round here, unless Rez can do something about it. 35 seconds, smokes himself out. I'm not really sure the objective is there. Try and grab the bomb, but yeah, it was a bit desperate at that point. The smoke wasn't really deep enough. It's difficult to make it do so with those steps there. Another buy available, of course, for NiP. And this is the position. Look at this. He can spot the head. They had no idea he was there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pops up, takes two down, didn't even get jeweled. So there we go. Well played. Double orb setup. I was expecting this to arrive at 1 point. Snappy takes the total up to 7. So he had a decent round in the previous. Good shots as he went aggressive towards middle. That was NiP trying to do something a little bit smarter. Seeing they went for some fake smokes and went back towards A. Showed presence towards the B side, but everyone going down at middle, and the round was over. Chance for Ro to get back into this now.
Well, round they needed. Aggressive from Yugi. Boosted this time, rather than going out to the flower pot himself. It'll be he and Nico that fall back to the site. Does give something to NiP in the fact that misses the shot, has to go back to the site. They can clear the bathrooms, which they've done, so they get a bit of map control, execution potential. Molotov goes deep. Yugi's going to be able to hold that angle. I think that they're aware of it, but spraying in, he's already transferred off. Doesn't want to stick around if he doesn't need to. Decent shots, but again, it's Exist that gets the trades. That's where Exist is finding most of his kills.
Absolutely. Wow. It was Nico that managed to take down Rez, but that might not be good enough here. Double orbs now, I assume. Oh, look at this battle going on towards the B side. S-Tag, ready and waiting. Get Right on the other side.
Get Right read this last time. They checked this position knowing that Monster was open.
It's the same position as well.
Yeah,
but it's a difficult shot because he's crouched.
Well, and it's also coming from a different angle. He checks it. Get Right knows every single time that, okay, we've left Monster open. It's likely that someone's going to take over the position, and that's twice he's read that.
Yeah.
And usually when you're a CT and you get there, I mean, I know matchmaking, I think that's a free kill every time.
We'll see if anything can be done here. Still a 3-on-3. Snappy finds the advantage now. That should do damage to the bomb planter at the same time. Good HE grenade. Get Right and Exist to clutch this one out. They have no nades to work with, so Get Right knows he has to challenge a little bit more. Trying to do damage. No bullets connecting just yet. Diffuse getting closer and closer. The CT's on the bomb site now. Snappy heading towards the ramp, and Get Right can't hit anything. Had a few opportunities there, but the AK bullets just not finding their target. Finally, they start to. Takes down Modi. 2 versus 1 for Exist now, but the most obvious spot in this sort of clutch. They haven't got a smoke to really get him off it. The full defuse comes in. Exist denies it. Now he has the advantage. One more kill will do it. It's up to Yugi with the M4A4. He's got a kit. He should have the defuse.
Yeah, he's definitely got the defuse. That's going to put us 6-6. A very close contested round, but NiP falls shy yet again, and I think contesting. Okay, they've got. Oh yeah, they've got a lot left. What am I saying? I thought they were going to be last buy, but they've got 2 or 3 potentially left. Even if they lost, the last round bonus will put them back into buy territory before they're broken. So they are fine. On round 13 as well.
Well, the pause comes through. NiP once again. Now their money's starting to be whittled down. Good retake there. It seemed like NiP had Heroic's number once S-Tag was found. We thought, okay, they're going to swarm the B side. Now the retake shouldn't be a possibility. But NiP with no nades left, man, they couldn't really hold off the retake at all. Snappy, the AWP, finds one. Brought into a 3-on-2. And Get Right had a few opportunities to find his AK headshots. Only got 1. Needs to be a double kill for him to allow Exist to really have a chance there. He did a very good job to deny the initial diffuser, but such a difficult position. Obviously, the CT knows you're behind the sandbag. Can just run him pre-firing the M4 even before he gets around the corner, and you're just listening to sound cues and hoping for the best. Full buy on either side. No double orb this time for Heroic. All tied up at 6-6. It's round number 13. Draken yet to really go wild with that orb. 4 kills for him in total as we go into another Devo here. Yugi. I assume he was boosted there. Yeah, he was. Looking towards the short pipe. That's the one I like a lot. I think that's great. The jump, I don't really see what that gets you. It's quite common for the T's to go towards short, and he was risking your life. That boost, though, you have an advantage, especially with the AWP.
I tend to agree with that. I think the jump is... If you want to do it really early, maybe, but it gets
because you've got no chance to get a kill. You
say,
all you can do is they're doing a default, there's someone ashore. Like, that doesn't really get you that much intel. Especially at the start of the round, it just risks dying.
Well, at the start of the round, typically someone's there anyway. So
exactly.
what value is it? You're pretty much just confirming
if
a
it
belief.
was a safe jump and you couldn't die from it, I would say, sure, that's fine. But the fact that you're so vulnerable in these top games, nice shot from Yugi, fully blind, pulls the trigger, sets up Nico nicely as well. Bomb drop. This is another heroic round. Yugi starting to come to life now with the AWP. 3 kills in total, and he goes towards A. That's the clever thing about it. He shows the presence at the B bomb site, gets 1 kill, straight back towards A, along A. He funnels them to this area, and that's what top AWPers do. They realize what their impact of a kill can do to a team and scare them off a certain position. He gets there, 2 more towards long A, and now Forest in a very, very difficult situation. He is in pretty amazing form right now, but I think this might be a bit of a stretch. He's just waiting for mistakes to be made. They've got him locked in, and they'll find the final frag. That's all Yugi, and that's the plays I was looking for when I built him up in the pre-game. Here's the shot.
Boost up. Bang.
Then he goes towards A. He's just shown his presence.
Gone and runs. Good play. It works, and it's now Heroic in the lead. 3 straight rounds.
That's also the problem with Get Right by himself on that side of the map, because a lot of teams will flash towards short before coming out the short pipe, right, just to give them that extra safety, and that AWP can't do anything at that point. But he's by himself, and obviously being comfortable so far. A nice adjustment there from Heroic. And they're going towards middle this time. I like they're dictating the pace now. They seem a lot more comfortable. Same Molotov drop to T-Steps. Teams will push out a bit, but it might not matter. 2 kills coming in. Draken does at least find 1, but still the man advantage lies with Heroic. Draken firing speculative shots there through the smoke. But still, we can fall back to the bomb site now. And S-Tag's done it again. He has been bested a few times by Get Right, but he's dead. And he'll be all the way in T-spawn, waiting for rotations, and they'll go towards Connector for now. They could go T-spawn. We'll have a look at those 2 players on the minimap. Here we go. This could be a double kill for S-Tag. He's got a decent position this time, not in the corner, towards the right. He's behind the ticket booth, just there. Here we go. I reckon he has to get 2 here. They're checking every corner there. It might not happen.
I don't know if they'll check. I take that back to the wall. Oh, or not. 2 kills easily. Bomb goes down.
That's well played. He was lucky they didn't check that. They checked everything else but that.
And they've checked all those corners previously as well. We saw, we just spoke about it. Get Right, always pushing out and knowing someone's aware. Now NiP is losing map control and men early. They're not getting to dictate the pace as they were, and it's all Heroic being clever in some ways. This Forest even goes to find them and can't.
That's all funneling again. They showed all that aggression towards middle, got an equal situation at 3-on-3. S-Tag's got the call. There's 4 players in middle. It's very unlikely that Get Right will be towards short again after being rattled with the AWP in the previous round. He pushes Monster, gets all the way in T-spawn there, changes his position up. Luckily, they don't check that specific corner, which is one of the most powerful. They walk past him, 2 kills. It's easy like. He'd do well to miss both of those kills. 3-on-1 now, Forest.
I'd miss both of those kills.
Yeah, you might do. He's going to get a plan out of this. Yugi moves out of the B side just as he gets the bomb down. So something there for NiP at least. Extra money for the last round. Forest, I was about to say, still could win this. Trade comes through, and we go into the last round, all tied up 7. Oh no, actually, Hero goes. They take the lead. 8-6. Beg your pardon.
You're right. They've had the lead.
Yeah.
They extend the lead in that regard.
Well, what's the loss bonus looking like? 4th stage of a bomb going down. Not the best of buys, but relatively healthy. A UMP comes out as a compromise for Get Right to make sure he gets utility. I would like to see a set piece from NiP right now. I don't think we've seen enough of that. They've been doing a lot of defaults, 1 contact play. Haven't seen like the wall of smokes and B, the Molotovs, the flashbangs. It's all just been very default stuff. Now on this lesser buy, you've got the smokes, flashbangs, and a UMP. I think that's the call. They have to try and deny this aggression first. Let's Get Right heading towards short, and the CT's pushing once again. They're bullying NiP right now. They don't really have an answer for this.
Shots out. Snappy finds exist.
How do they keep falling for this?
Yeah, it's the same play. Rez finally gets one back. That'll force Yugi away, but Yugi's aware. Looks low and still manages to hit the shot. Snappy's found Draken in the meantime. Pulled back by Forest, but again, it's 1 versus 3. It's Get Right this time as Snappy got an immediate exchange, and Get Right is over toward B as always, which means Bomb on its own. He's just going to take fights, I think. Or is he? I thought he was just going to brawl into B and just hope for the best. Try and isolate it down to a 1 versus 2 early. Perhaps best suited that he didn't, because there is 2 inside of the B site. He'll go back for the bomb. Smoke goes off as well to cover it. UMP, no utility. And the map safeguarded by Heroic in pretty much all points of approach, including the one he heads toward now. I think he wants the AK. M4 instead, fair enough. Good damage. Now he's got the AK, but he's just going to bypass Snappy, knowing he did so much damage. And immediately, I imagine he goes, if he can clear off Dumpster, goes left right now to catch him in rotation. Smart play, but he's not going to peek.
Can still win this. I think we've got one sacrifice available for Heroic. They can just throw one in like that. Hope for the best. He doesn't need to wait for his teammates to come in. They still have the pincer available. Modi just runs in. Doesn't deny the plan, but it doesn't matter. He gets around on the board. It's obviously round number 15. Bomb down or not, it doesn't matter. But Heroic, after going 4-0, they looked a little bit weak. They're getting the many wrecks over and over again. Couldn't really get into the game. But as soon as they got established, took that eco at maximum loss bonus, that's when they came to life. Double orb comes out. Yugi starts to look good. Snappy starts hitting some shots, and they take the lead. And NiP was shut down there by the aggression of Heroic, and that was nice to see. Can they come back from it? We'll find out after the break. Well, we get back underway, and it is Heroic that recovered, actually, after losing the lead early on to NiP, and NiP seemingly looked convincing up until such time that map control started to be won, and they started realizing what NiP was up to and winning duels that were essential, in my opinion, to giving them the map control, more importantly, over toward B when Stag, I think, getting up to get the 2 kills, dropping the bomb, finally learned how to riddle Get Right's position. We'll see what happens in the pistol. If Heroic can pull this one off, will be another upset victory for them. They're not doing too great in Pro League. This would be very beneficial to get the 3 points in the bag. If they can find both wins here, that'd be amazing. NiP certainly in contention for the top 6, but this sort of matchup, you expect them to really get 6 points out of it. So a recovery required here. We'll get into round number 1. Very standard stuff, but Yugi has got the Deagle. That's a little bit bold. We'll see what he can do with it. He'll be going towards the T-step. Spots Reds.
With armor as well, by the way, so that was thrown to him.
No, he's got no armor.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. How did I not see that from here? I'm looking far away. It's Stag that has the armor.
You're right. Well, Yugi doesn't need armor. He gets headshots whatever happens.
Apparently so. So with 100 HP, he's gotten 2. That's why he bought the Deagle. Fair enough. Gets 2. And Stag follows up, finding Force. Great start to the pistol round for Heroic. That's a damn good Deagle.
It's not bad. It finally gets shut down, but the work has officially been done. 4-on-2. Get Right exists to find this much-needed pistol victory for NiP. It's going to be a tall order here. Get Right has had some interesting plays, some good moves. He's got a defuse kit and a smoke. If he does decide to be a ninja, drop the smoke bomb.
He has to wear pajamas.
We'll see.
I don't understand why, like, you know, there's not really much ruling about what you wear on stage.
Onesies?
As long as you're not in shorts, you're allowed to pretty much wear anything. Why doesn't Ninjas in Pajamas literally just get pajamas?
I think they did a photo shoot once of them wearing.
Yeah, but why don't they wear it on stage? I think that'd be epic. I think it'd be pretty cool. Good little marketing.
I think they prefer it to be like NiP gaming, like the pajamas aspect of it. Like it sounds a little bit
I know.
silly
I don't think it was ever intended to be the name, and the organization grew. Like it actually, if I remember, was just like a side project. Like it was a bunch of players that were like, yeah, let's go do this, and then all of a sudden, oh, hang on, it's real now. It's kind of like when you name yourself Sadokiss because you think sadomasochism sounds cool, and then by the time you're not a virgin anymore, you realize, oh my god, that has a different meaning than I thought.
4-on-2 retake begins. It's Exist and Get Right trying to do all they can. Like we said, they've got a kit, the headshots flying in. Obviously a huge advantage here for Heroic, but it's starting to slip away somewhat. The smoking on the bomb. Here we go, right click it in. Just go for it, I reckon. Hope Exist can get one, just defuse.
Hopefully get one. Oh, NiP marches into the site. Well done. In fact, that stag even had the knife drawn to catch off the smoke. So it was a good effort, but never going to happen, I'm afraid.
These shots were wonderful, weren't they?
The second one was just as good.
Oof.
I don't really know what Draken was looking at there.
Yeah, he didn't expect that sort of angle to come in, perhaps. Who knows? Double digits for Heroic. No force buy from NiP in the second round. A lot of teams, as we keep saying, tend to agree this is the better setup now. Get the upgraded pistols. No armor. Make sure you have decent cash going into that first round. Or first go round, I should say. Waiting for aggression. Holding in the playground. Not going to be giving anything away just yet. Heroic, they have got control of short. Watching Monster as well. And waiting for anyone to push middle or long A.
Get right. He knows how this position is played on the counter side, so he'll go looking, or does he? Because he overlooked... Never mind, he's got Madi. I lied. A stag fires down the corridor. 19 HP left for him, but he did do some damage to Get Right. That should mean NiP immediately gets the kill and does so on arrival. As such, they've now cleared water, construction, and the lower tunnel. So res out toward long instead. With the Deagle. Let's see if he can find anything at range 3. Deagle still in the round. CZ for Exist. Somebody says the reason that they don't wear pajamas on LAN is because they don't qualify for LAN.
It's not bad.
Savage. Snappy. Tagged considerably, down to 19. This is a reasonable opportunity for NiP. Given two players very low, they can't find shots fast enough, but they immediately execute Exist in behind the barrels. Wide peek, a stag stays alive. If they found him, that's the best chance they had. I think now it's safe to say with the bomb down, Heroic wins the round. But give it a chance. For the sake of excitement. That is exciting. Through the wall. Figured out where exactly Snappy had run to. And Rez has a stag down. So the two low HP players are gone. So is NiP. It's suddenly just onto Yugi, and they both picked up weapons. Okay, not primary. You've got a Galil and you've got a Mac 10, and you don't have armor against Yugi on an AK, who's got it back to a one-on-one, but you've still got a chance in this Forest. He's made noise entering the site, but he doesn't know where Yugi's gone and turned.
He wants to upgrade to that Galil, it'll make so much noise when he drops the weapon. He needs to decide what he's going to do. It's not really possible now.
Yeah, bomb's gone.
No kit, right? So he's just trying to at least get a kill out that one. They take all 5 players down, right? They don't get a kill out of it, or they don't get a round victory, but the fact they damaged the economy so badly of Heroic, that's still something. It was a 2-on-1 situation, but still a very difficult one. Nice wallbang there from Forest. So good kills, but not enough to actually pull the round off. 3k for NiP, they can't force around this, of course. This will be a full eco. 12-6, almost a lock-in at this point. That's the problem, though, because, yes, they did so much damage to the economy in the previous round, but obviously you can't really take a challenge here and go, oh, we should just force buy and just try and break them down right now. You have to take a full eco, and that's a chance for all the teams to keep all 5 players alive, get that $200 win bonus, and take that next round. A couple of nades, that's about it.
Well, we'll see if there's anything in this game once the guns arrive for NiP. Because it's been impressive for Heroic, and as you say, upset wins. NiP's not safe for LAN, remember. Heroic, I think, outside the top 6, I think they're 9th right now, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're, I think, 7th or 8th. They're also close in that range. Changes nightly. Our last week as well, we'll have the answers toward the end of the week. So will you, because you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to watch every game with us, and don't tell me you're not, because that's a lie. You'll be here. I know you will.
Wow. 3 HE grenades. Waiting to strike. Forest, Res, and Draken. Presumably, we'll be waiting in B for an execution, then nades towards short or monster. Wherever required. The only problem is, it looks like an A focus here from Heroic. Almost destined to get the 12-6 scoreline, farm some cash to those SMGs at the same time. And this would be devastating for the campaign in Pro League for NiP to drop this map to Heroic, a team that definitely can't qualify. Well, I think technically everyone can, but Heroic very, very unlikely at this point. NiP still with a chance. Losing points out to one of the lesser teams in Pro League, that's just not going to be good enough.
No, I'm afraid not. They can be the spoiler at this point.
The saboteurs.
I prefer spoilers. That's why I like Subarus and Honda Civics.
Yeah.
As Get Right, oh, just barely got that. Missed out on the headshot, I should say. Had the headshot lineup right, but didn't walk far enough forward. Heroic walked rather easily into the side as a result. 5 versus 2, Forest and Draken left waiting.
Just
to
a
note,
we didn't mention it. Peacemaker is now the coach for this team.
I think they talked about it on the desk briefly.
Yeah. So just it's weird. Like he went from Tyloo like a week later. He's on this team, right?
Well, it was a little more than a week, but it wasn't long.
They went to They went to the epicenter of the minor.
That's right.
Like
well,
but
they boot camped when they were in Europe. So he did 2 events, I think.
I mean, like it's been a week since that last event with Tyloo.
Oh yeah, no, super quick signing. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant his tenure with Tyloo.
No.
Yeah, no, definitely it was a really quick transfer. And the joke is now that he's going to go to South Africa and coach Bravado next.
Get
the
world tour.
All the continents. It's not a bad way to travel.
Gun round here, Draken glass cannon, and this is the bonus situation and then some. 2 MAC-10s, UMPs, 2 players without helmets, Draken without any armor. This could be quite spicy. If Heroic managed to pull this one off, it's pretty much game. They'll go towards B, set piece. That's the best way to do any sort of rounds. Get those smokes down, get in the faces, but Get Right's got a similar sort of idea. He pushes the connector door, gets one, dinks another. That's job done. He can fall back. He knows he's done that damage. He's low as well. So that's definitely throwing a spanner in the works on their side of the map. They can't execute at this point, knowing they've lost a player. Hashtag tagged up at this point as well. So, what's the recovery situation? Heroic know they're trapped in now. They have no idea if they've lost T-spawn, T-steps. What's going on in the playground? They have no idea. They pretty much have to just walk into B and hope this works out for them. I would say this is like a 10% chance to win this round now, considering the way it's gone down. They know they're locked in. It's going to have to hope for the best with the flashbangs and hope one of them's very effective. That's not bad, but easy to turn away from. Going to be a couple of good kills here for Snappy and co. They might still have a chance in this one with the low HP players on the side. Draken with the orb though. Glass cannon hits the shot. This is still possible.
It's entirely possible. You look at Get Right and Draken side by side at an AK in the hands of Yugi. What he doesn't anticipate is Rez off to his left. Sandbags wins it. NiP finds 7, and I think there is a chance that they can pull this game back. I really do.
Gun round start now. It's a good approach there by Snappy to at least make this round a possibility. Lots of damage being done, but Get Right, he made the first incision, opening the connector door, found that first kill. They wanted to execute. You see him lining up the smokes. The problem is, if you lose a pick at that point, when you're just about to execute, you've lost the whole map. You've got all 5 players there, and you can't just go back, because you know CTs are going to be waiting for you. Have to go with it, hope for the best. That's a round that doesn't really count too much. They had 2 MAC-10s and a UMP. It would been great to win that, but they still found some kills. They win this. It's definitely going to be a reset for NiP. So this is still a very, very important round. 12-7, all Papa Yugi. Same story for Draken. Of course, he had that last round as well, but this time he has armor, all the nades. A couple of diffuse kits available, so NiP need this to really make a dent in the second half.
Nico clearing from the fountain to the top of middle, into the stairs. Bottom middle confirmed as well. The underpass position. Rez with a good find. Stag has followed up that by getting down Nico as well. Even with the flash going into the bathrooms, he was able to avoid. Snappy sneaks in, however, and finds Get Right, who's not quite ready for him to be so close after the clearance from Rez. Somehow missed out on timing. Even still, they'll maintain the man advantage. This could be decent from Snappy. I think they're aware of it. They are, but a missed shot from Draken, and now Snappy can be quick to try and find Exist rotating around because he's still isolated from long. That smoke from his teammate actually almost disallows the possibility of finding Exist, but they'll go for the bomb plant either way. That's more important to them at this point in time. As Rez will work from long, Exist from the stairwell, and Forest already on toward the dumpster. Modi's in the middle of a triangle, the trifecta of doom, as you would say, Henry.
And it works out. It's definitely a scary prospect having 3 angry ninjas all around you. And it will be NiP converting 2 rounds in a row in their favor. Bomb goes down. I don't think that's enough to buy with. It'll be a partial bug against the next one. They've got about 3k per player on the Heroic side, and now we have a game on our hands. NiP can really get into this one and still win, of course. It was looking a little bit grim there with some of the clutch situations and the way the first half ended up for them, losing the pistol in the second half. But they're back. And it will be Deagles pretty much across the board. We've got Modi on that CZ. Tech9, pretty much only Sticko using it these days. I can't recall any other players that are still true to the Tech9.
Saw one or two at the NA minor, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, Sticko's the only European player at the top level I can recall is still using it. And he's done some pretty disgusting things with it, so fair play to him. I think it'll balance out eventually. Give it a few months. People will realise that it's still a viable weapon. Diva skin on this one.
I like that. I know. I was just thinking that. It's pretty cool. It reminds me of Halo skins. When people used to wear the really, like, vibrant pale pink. I like the Halo skin system when you could make your logo and customize how you looked. I thought it was pretty cool. I like Halo. I'm just going to say it. I like it.
Never played it.
It's one of the only console games I actually enjoyed. Well, FPS console games, I should say.
Sure. Well, for now, Nico down. Not really much of Heroic can do with this. No armor, no nades. Just a few deagles. Rez finding that first shot. One of the young guns for an IP. Rez, former Epsilon player, of course. Oof, nice shot. Rips the head off Snappy there. And that should be the round. It'll be unlikely we even see a kill with this sort of range and no nades. But Rez, you maybe feel like giving one away. Not going to be the case. Just Aztec now. Holds towards long. Clean sweep. That's exactly what the Ninjas needed. They're up against full buy now. I don't think we'll see an AWP for Yugi, you know. They've only got about 5k per player. He might just opt for the AK-47 instead. Here's the nice shot that blew the head off originally. Oh, that's quite good. So indeed, 5 AK-47s. Heroic definitely known as a team that are quite methodical. They have a lot of executions. They had a lot of innovative strategies when they had an arguably stronger lineup with when Valdo was in there. They had a bit more firepower available to them. I don't think S-Tag has lived up to expectations. I respect it was definitely a big boost to Phil. But
well, there's a conversation about another Danish player that's, I mean, there's a few that aren't on these teams. Obviously, you've got Magisk that could easily go back in. You've got Ange that's on
Pimp.
Sorry? Pimp, yep, he's on NRG, by the way, Ange. And then Pimp, you've got Cadian, who's kind of always in and out of rosters.
He's in Rogue right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. So there's lots of talent in Denmark.
I think S-Tag's probably got a couple of months to get it together. It's a kind of similar situation I said about C's, right? Like, there's only so long you can have a player that's underperforming before you can say, oh, it's a team game and stuff, but he's consistently underperforming and having very average performances. You have to work out, okay, if this team's going to develop and grow, we need to work out what the weaknesses are. And it just hasn't seemed to work out. They had one very good performance at E-League, where they took down SK Gaming, if you remember that one.
Yep.
Bit of an anomaly in terms of the result, but still, that was promising. It's just been very quiet since then.
It's quiet in this round as well, as we are well under the 1 minute mark, and yet to have a kill. Bit of damage to our Dragon, but not much to really report. Did you see the proposal that we should have a James Bardoff statue on Cobblestone? I just saw the player on top of Stat down the garbage can looking a bit stoic is inside of the site. It's Get Right to find off a Stag, and it's a bomb plant pending. I don't know if they'll get that far. Yugi's going to try and hold so that they can. Bomb is dropped, though. It's Draken that shuffles in behind the truck to shut them down. It creates problems because there's 18 seconds, although they do have the advantage in a 1 versus 2, and they've already spotted Forest, so should be fine. Chance to spray through the boxes, but he's not going to take it. The jump makes a lot of noise, and yet they almost line up. Yugi gets the kill. Heroic find round 13.
Oh, decent attempt there by Forrest. Had them lined up towards the end, but couldn't get the bullets off in time. Well done by S-Tag and co. Just as we call him out, he gets 2 fantastic frags there. Almost got the third. Did damage to Get Right, who got converted straight after. So damage done certainly counts. 13-9. Heroic now in touching distance of finding map number 1. Win this round again. They fully reset for NiP, but it's the same story if they lose a round. So getting to crescendo now of Overpass. Draken sit on the orb. Yugi on it up for the first time in the second half. Fires off a shot blind, doesn't get anything for it, and Rez is feeling brave. Does it go any further than this? I doubt it. Can hear footsteps on the other side. He'd have to be flashed over. He's got no one with him, no support system. No one in middle, no one connector. So he has to be patient here. He can't just be wild and run around the corner and potentially just trade out, as that wouldn't be beneficial to the team. We have got Draken there now. He's come towards the flower bed, so a flashbang could go over. I would say it's still not worth it at this point. You have no idea they're waiting boosted in Playground. To Get Right with the same boost we saw from Yugi in the first half. Not as powerful, the M4 was still obviously difficult to take down because it uses that information from the boost to push off short himself. Draken gets 1, but like we said, 1 trade doesn't really benefit too much. But we have got that player all the way down long A. Rez waiting behind the rock. He's got players coming towards him, though. They're going to check this. They wanted to rotate towards B. That was the play. The bomb was down.
It's huge. This will pull them back to 10 rounds. It's also going to break the economy down again on the T side, which buys them additional rounds on top of it.
That's so well played from Rez. That position, so deadly. He's watching towards the end of long A. Hits the footsteps coming in. 180s, takes 2 of them down. They had knives out. They had no idea that was a possibility. He saves the round from what looked like a very equal situation. Now Yugi needs to try and save this orb, but 25 seconds to do so. Waiting by the party area. The bomb is available to him, but that's not even an option right now. He's not going to plan that. He wants to make sure he's safe and hit the orb into the next round so they have something to work with. Goes towards long. I would be tucking myself in a corner right now. They're going to come hunting. They're NiP are weak on money themselves. Looks like he will be surviving.
Keep the op up. No one's going to peek out, and even if they do, the smoke down and his back to the rock, not showing. Stays alive, but again, 10 rounds, the AWP only on the T side.
They might force around that. They have got a bed of rounds to work with there.
Small bed, and you force around it, you're looking safe in the next round no matter what.
They will. Snap, he bring out their Galil armor. They get utility here, but they have pretty much gone all in, yeah. Everyone down to $0.
$0, and if NiP are able to shut this down, they'll be on 11 and a free 12th round. We'll have a 1-round game.
It's normally your AWPer that will call this. Like, if he feels confident he can do something with it, your in-game leader will ask him, like, do you feel like you can actually do something next round? And we're like, yeah, let's go for it. We should. I can do the opening pick. We can just completely swarm a bomb site. Get a few smokes to work with as well. He gets a pick, they execute into a site. That could be enough.
Could be. There's Rez. Slow but sure. We'll hold position inside of the bathrooms. Keep an eye then on that AWP and Snappy's position as well, but Yugi more importantly, who still sits behind everyone right now as they approach the bathrooms. 2 smokes available.
Seal gone.
You're right, Draken's gotten Yugi down. Decent shot at range as well, so that'll force Rez back into hiding, knowing that they're going to be pushed in. It also doesn't reveal that there is a second weapon. It's, well, it'll be down twice now because it was picked up by a stag.
That should be round. They will be get the orb once again, I believe. It might be in the open, maybe it is. And Draken gets his 3rd. He's having a lot of fun right now. Rez hoping for some kills, a bit of the action. He'll get 1. And there it is. Should be a clean sweep at this point. Draken with the 4th kill of the round. So forced buy, not really working out whatsoever there for Heroic. It's definitely viable, but I didn't really like the approach. No one's really gone for the B set piece off the bat yet. They haven't really tried to maybe get a creative boost. That Soda Orb, get some mid control, boost them up towards long A. Let's do something like that. Let's try and mix it up instead of just going for the default walking into crosshairs. 10 full Glocks and no armor, no nades. One of those rounds where it's not really worth hyping up or talking over. It's not when we discuss things. Life, cars, hockey.
Cars, hockey.
Sometimes Counter-Strike.
If I can avoid it, I'd prefer to. Draken swings out, finds Snappy. We can talk about Morrissey if you'd like.
What would you like to know? Just announce his
when did he die?
World Tour. Nice. Maybe soon, who knows? Life is fragile, man. Anyone could die.
That's true. I could die tomorrow. Yeah. God, wouldn't that be nice?
Joking aside, getting to round number 11.
Oh, my chest hurts. Don't make me laugh. I'll have a heart attack.
Don't get him too excited. Well, 2 Galils, 3 AK-47s, a few smokes available, flashbangs as well. And this should be the set piece. We've got 4 players towards the B side of the map. We'll have a look. We're on top of that position right now. That's S-Tag. Any boost from the CTs? Not from what I can see. It looks like Forrest will be holding towards short. Draken opens things up once again. Nice work by him. Gets taken down eventually. It's S-Tag that finds him in the connector. Oh, the short tunnel, I should say. He's actually quite pushed up. Oh, no, it wasn't. Rez to recover. And a couple of kills coming forward. Rez doing a very good job here. Finds the advantage to tie things up here. He can fall back. Work has been done. Nothing more required. Got a smoke to fall back on. Snappy and Yugi to now try and do what they can with a 4-on-2. Time available, but they have got smokes, flashbangs, 1 Molotov. It was Draken that came out of the connector. Gets 1. Shut down after that. That's when Rez comes in aggressively to avenge his teammate. They're walking towards Monster. Very easy frags for Exist here. Teammate there to back him up, even when he goes down, it's a guaranteed kill. Good flashbang, and there we have it. 13-13. NiP doing a very good job here in the second half, Matt. Even losing the pistol, they gave up 0-3. They lost 0-3 both halves, just to note.
Yes, absolutely. They were 5-1 down in the first half when they... I think they were 4-1.
It was 4-0, they got 4-1.
That's right. And then they pulled it back to 7-4 before losing the lead, or 6-4 before losing the lead, 7-4. Either way, it's been decent for NiP, and as you say, importantly so, because they can't afford to lose points to teams of I won't say less pedigree, but lower in the standings. Less pedigree is arguably true as well. There's the shots. Echo. Rez will back off. Get Right will do the same. They'll cover the site from the innards, and it's now just the pistols to work with. Good find from Nico. He's impressive on the deagle. Gets a second shot, but it's Get Right instead that's there immediately to take him down. Re-peek out from Draken, and he'll find Yugi. And Draken could do it again and again, but he misses. Maybe again. Forrest will get the kill instead. Now he's got the shot. There's what he was looking for. Stag goes down 14 rounds. NiP in the lead late.
They've done it. It's going to be 5 rounds in a row, so Hero can buy up around this. One more point, though, for match point for NiP. AK's come out, full buy across the board. No ult for Yugi. They really haven't got much done at all here in the second half. Overpass since winning the pistol. Got fully reset, as you can see on the scoreboard at the mid-stage. Draken's been doing a hell of a job with that AWP in the CT half. Very quiet on the T, had 4 kills towards the end of the first half, and starts stepping up tremendously here. Fires up a shot towards Fountain. Not really sure why, but there you go.
Likes to hear the sound of his own gun. Can you blame the man?
You can't. It's fair enough.
Well, it's Nico that wants to clear the stairs as they also head a stag down the hallway beneath. That'll take care of both approaches, take care of all the little cubby holes by which you can nestle into, I should say. Snuggle up. Like you and Alex watching Netflix.
Watching Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
We very rarely do that.
Sometimes chilling. Well, you're going to have to start watching Netflix more now, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's right. Correct. Towards B we go. We haven't seen this approach from Heroic just yet. Exist in a deadly position. Nico almost certainly goes down. How does he manage to pull that shot off? I'm not sure. Forrest manages to hold strong on the B site, and he mows them all down in only a way that he can seem to do. That was absolutely superb. Just when it seemed he's in the open, he's going to get traded out. He manages to control the spray, full crouch, get in there, bit of wallbang damage at the same time, and he will find NiP their 15th round. It was a decent opening pick from Nico there. I thought Exist had him out-positioned. He did, but then Nico struck, and Forrest, he comes back 10 times harder. We'll go into potentially the last round here. AKs and Galils with that maximum loss bonus. Not going to have all the nades that are required, no bomb going down, but we'll see if they can tie things up. 2 rounds in a row to go to overtime here.
2 rounds in a row is what is required. It's still an entire possibility. Draken might have more problems. Just worrying about those 2 rounds as he misses 2 shots. It's Nico and Snappy that certainly respond, and it's a 2-man advantage for Heroic as a result. Rotations will be required, I should say, having to come in immediately. Get Right will get in behind them, and Snappy continues to watch toward the lower underpass position. Forrest sneaks his head up. Same position we saw earlier, by the way, that you were praising so affectively. Affectionately. This time, although it lands, Forrest is more aware of it. Goes back up, nade will do it. Forrest is going to run. I don't know if he spotted the nade or what, but tried to get away. Unfortunately, in the time that he did so, Exist is found, and I think we've got at least 1 more round left.
At least 5 players surviving for Heroic. Let's have a look at the money. Should be absolutely fine for an NiP, yeah. 3 of them in like the 5-digit mark, so they're fine, but well recovered from Heroic. Galil there managing to do some work towards long this time, and got up by the bathroom. Draken a couple of chances to find a kill, but missed the shot, base it out with a shoulder peek. And we go to round number 30 here. Forrest, like, he doesn't need to save the weapon. The fact he has an AK We always talk about that being a lot more powerful than the M4 holding certain angles, but he won't even have that opportunity. Taking on Yugi to finish things off, and we go into round 30 here. I didn't expect NiP to get back into the game, but they've done a good job. Looks like overtime could be a real possibility here. We'll take a pause, of course. It's a big round. It's a big game. It's the end of the season, the last week of Pro League. Trying to avoid relegation, I would say Heroic and NiP trying to sneak in at the lower end of the top 6.
Absolutely, yeah. Both of them, I think, are...
An auto sniper, I think I've just seen it.
Really?
Please no.
Rez? Or Get Right? No, it'd be Rez.
Get Right dropped it for Rez from what I saw.
Yeah, Get Right's never going to use that weapon. Is that a call? Is that a thing? They've been known to do this in the past. Train way back in 2013 or 14.
Yeah, Exist used to run up.
Out toward Ivy.
They definitely dropped it. Whether they use it, I'm not sure. 100%
Maybe Get Right is going to pick it up.
I remember Get Right using it on Train occasionally. I do remember that. Oh, it's a double orbs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe he does that.
No, because where's the M4? So there's an M4 and an AWP. Is there also...
There it is. He's going to juggle it. He's going to presumably juggle the... Can we follow Get Right? He's not. He's just taking straight up... I guess he probably leaves in CD spawn for rotation.
If he falls back,
yeah, he'll drop it in the actual steps.
Actually,
for a retake.
Rez has gone onto the M4, so there's a double op. There's a second op on the ground.
That's right. So they've just given themselves options for retakes, right? Kind of smart. We'll see if it works out for him. The auto sniper. I'm not a fan of this in this sort of round. You've been doing so well without it.
It's a cool looking gun, though.
It does look good.
Well, he'll hold it toward Monster with it. That's a reasonable angle, considering it's very linear. But whether or not it pays off, that's another story. Found. Downed as well by Nico. So now the auto sniper, pressure applied. Draken as well is going to cover off toward the A site. Smoke goes out in front of the bathrooms late.
I really want to see the auto sniper come in.
I know you do.
Give it a chance.
I'm sitting here watching you twitch with delight.
That's not because of the counter strike.
That's true. It's my left hand. As a Stag takes down Draken, he got 1 for 1, so that opens up the site. It's now Heroic that are inside with the bomb plant going in. This for overtime as well. As Stag tries to spot Forrest, manages to do so on top of the box. He takes down Exist. Where's your criticism now, Hank? Because he stepped up when required.
It's good. I'm happy for him. And it will be a 4-on-1 situation. Get Right with no weapon. There it is, an M4 on the ground. Yeah, might as well go for it. Very, very unlikely. It's like maybe like 5% chance he wins this one. Bomb ticking away. No smoke. It's depleting by the second. We're going to overtime. First map of the evening. Might as well kick it off in style. It's been a bit of a brawl here. Tactical execution on the T side has been lacking, and then some for both sides. Didn't really see anything that impressive in terms of like a wall of smokes or a fake out. Detailed execution is not really there at all. Lots of contact plays, lots of defaults, and not really utilizing the advantageous positions they get themselves into. I was expecting more from Heroic in that respect, but well done to win the last 2 rounds, down 15-13. S-Stag, you're right, did step up there when it really mattered, so well played there. We don't swap halves in terms of the teams here. We stay on CT for the NiP, on RT for Heroic. We'll have 16k, MR3, first to 19. Or as 18-18, we go to double overtime.
Absolutely true. You've spoken facts. No alternatives here.
So you normally get like 2 minutes in between this to discuss what your play will be into overtime here.
This also, by the way, deprives NiP of at least 1 point no matter what.
That's actually a really good point. The fact you can get to overtime means you do not get the 3 points for winning anymore. So at this stage of the tournament, in the Pro League, the online standings, every point is worth its weight in gold. And the fact that NiP have not got the 3 points now, even if they win, it'll still be a little bit of a hollow victory knowing they missed out on the 3 points.
Absolutely. That's rough.
So it's an interesting addition to Pro League. I think that's really made things a little bit more exciting towards the end, especially at this point, where last season we had like, it was like 50 different outcomes because so many teams had like split series and all that sort of thing. But now we have an overtime variable in there as well. It means that's a lot more simple to work out towards the end of the season. It makes overtime a lot more exciting, and actually when you grind it out like 36 rounds, like at least you get something for it. At least you get a point, you know. It wasn't all in vain.
It's always the same. It's just in vain. What song is that? I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Sure, it does ring a bell though. This will be a chance for the toilet break, of course.
It's Eric Clapton, I think, or is it Cream or whatever the other band he was in?
Cream.
Your favorite.
That's what I think about.
So they'll get underway momentarily. As you say, there is 2 minutes allocated between the halves in which they can go to the potty.
Feels a little bit longer than that right now, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's still on the server. It will just be the toilet runs, and we'll be underway any second. Overtime's always a little bit interesting. Obviously, you've shown your hand in terms of what strategies you'll be using in regulation. Now it's a chance to mix them up or change the pace, go for some full-on rushes, which you haven't shown at all. Some variations of your default. Maybe some of the open position that hasn't been used before. Mix things up. That's when the mining games begin. Some of the toughest rounds to call as an in-game mid. You know you need to change the game up and surprise them somewhat. I hope this isn't live. Okay, good. I saw a bomb being defused. Like, okay, surely we're not missing out around here.
Imagine. We're just hovering through the air with the music playing. Now we're going to be live. The music changes dramatically for good reason. Overtime. About to get underway.
No auto sniper madness. Double AWP setup though. Forest at one point was like the primary AWPer on this map. Let's see what he can get done here. To be fair, I think it was Pitts who was on the CT side. It's normally Forest on the T side.
That's right. Pitts' tenure in NiP, fast forgotten.
Yeah, he won't go down as one of the legendary additions to the team, will he?
Certainly not. Not with the Michaelele and Alu, if you will. Delpan had a tryout in there once too.
I'm surprised he never made a dent in CSGO, really. I played with him for a bit at the beginning of CSGO, and he was really good.
Well, Rez is going to try and be very good right now by pushing up inside of the smoke. Bit of spray, so he'll fall off it. Doesn't want to get caught out by it, but he'll transfer nonetheless. He's got there for a support system for Draken in place now that he has Bathroom Connector covered off with the 8WP and sees the shadows, tries to pre-fire, and they just gravitate to it.
No flashbang news there. They try to walk in. It's always a dangerous position. We'll have a refrag attempt from Snappy, but Draken there to back him up. Yugi gets one, maybe consolation frag at this point. I'm not sure how he gets much more than one now. He's given his position away. We'll see, though. Still plenty of time, 45 seconds. And it'll be with Modi, who still has most of his HP, down to 81. But they've got the bomb in the bathrooms. That is a bit of an issue.
Well, Draken. With the bomb down, still watches toward long. Doesn't have anyone else near him. Smoke just outside the doorway, so attention back to where the bomb does lie. Flash in. Still checks long. Bit of a pre-fire. He's going to be isolated in the smoke. Doesn't want to shoot into it. I was going to say, yeah, he was going to have to shoot eventually. Trying to figure out exactly where the bomb was, and that's where he aims, but Forrest still inside of the site with the second op. Able to close the round himself, and NiP strikes first 16 rounds for them.
Nice double kill. You can see without the flashbang use, he can spot that shadow. He gets such a massive advantage there, and we see that so commonly. It's frustrating almost that the pros don't flash that enough, or even like that sun entrance in towards the bathrooms. Like, it's so powerful for the CT standing in that position. Like, one flashbang is all it takes as they go in, but they walk in there and he gets an extra half second on them just to prepare his aim and almost pre-fire them. And that's how you give up double kills. Well, round number 2, NiP with a nice lead here. We do play 3 rounds in the first half. Let's tag feeling brave. Remember, smokes aren't force fields, so sometimes it can be beneficial to push a smoke and surprise your opponent. That was just after, but you could see Get-Right thought he had more time there. Stag strikes and gets the advantage here. Last round's a little bit rough with the initial double kill. Now they can bide their time. They don't have to commit straight away. Wait for the reactions to come in from the CTs.
Modi takes down Forrest. Flash over. Immediately Exist is going to swing and find them correctly. However, it's a Stag that gets the shot immediately back against Exist. Rez and Draken. Last 2 for NiP. We could split the opening 2 rounds, which means 2-1 the best case for one of the 2 teams. And we won't get a 3-round sweep. We won't get convincing and concise overtime in that regard. As Draken looks above with the Molotov down, has the AWP still at the ready. In a 1 versus 4, however, it's unlikely he'll be able to do anything with the bomb already planted and ticking away as well. Good shot at least to get a stag down. But immediately found by Yugi.
Opening kill comes in. CTs can't recover. 5 on 4, Heroic execute quite nicely towards B there. Find the trades, bomb goes down. Not really much NiP can do about that. Very simple round. Nice procedure there. Heroic capitalizing on the opening pick. It will be the last round of the first half of overtime here. It is certainly a CT-sided map. Anything can get going on the T side is going to be beneficial in overtime. Even 1 round is enough. A sigh of relief, knowing you've got at least a bit of wiggle room in the second half. All power for Draken. I think we've got 2 players in the underpass. We do indeed. They want to boost here. Ideally, they want to look over towards the short pipe. They're a little bit late. Everyone's already out. Molotov, they should know that the timings of this map, that's it. That's not really going to work out too well for you.
Not going to work out too well. But it's gone, a bunch of different directions, in fact. 2 yellow, 1 blue, 1 yellow again. So 3-2 trade advantage, and Yugi confirms that it's gone even better for Heroic by getting Exist down and striking in a 1 versus 3.
We're seeing more executions now. Finally, in overtime, I think Heroic had a chat and worked out, well, we didn't run our strategies. It will be Draken, though, in the 3 versus 1, and they're feeding him kills right now. This is a little bit strange. They go in 1 by 1, and they've given him a chance to win this. 1 more kill will do it. He lines it up, but can't quite find the shot there. That's gutting for him. It was Heroic with a really nice start to the round. There's the backstab coming in from Nico as the boost failed. They tried to come behind Heroic as they finally committed towards B, but wasn't allowed. 2-1. Heroic just need to find 1 round in the CT half to guarantee double overtime here.
And what a guarantee that is. Especially where you'd... Okay, I guess given 1 point to NiP, but again, they lost this. They had map point, 2 map points to work with, and I've already been deprived of essential and integral rounds.
That halftime break between regulation and overtime, it seems like Heroic had a good chat. Like they said, well, our tactical depth was pretty weak there in the T half. Why don't we mix things up and actually get those executions? Let's focus on a bomb site. B is the place we can get those executions in. It seems to be working out quite nicely for them now. NiP got a little bit unlucky there with the backstab. The timing's just a bit off as Nika came in from T-spawn, found both of them. Draken certainly had a chance to win that one. 3-on-1, hits the first 2 AWP shots, narrowly missing out on the 3rd. Surely won't take the same amount of time in between this halftime break, but we'll find out. Top performance for NiP will be Reds with 25 kills. Nice to see him at the top there.
Yeah.
In terms of ADR, in terms of stats, will be Draken with 27 kills, 21 deaths. It's just they're going a little bit quiet, so I'm sorry for Get Right.
Surprisingly, Get Right has done very well, however, on the T side, specifically when they were on that. So we'll see if there's any benefit to him being back on the T side. So again, they chat it out, see what they can come up with, and we'll get back underway. Double overtime looking to be secured early by Heroic. Certainly taking full advantage of the halftime breaks. I imagine someone surely is in the bathroom. I'm going to assume I'm going to make that a thing. It's the same person. Really small bladder.
I just have a bucket under my desk usually.
It's disgusting, Henry.
Hey, it's efficient.
Inhumane.
I don't get to spend much time at home. I want to be at the desk for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do when I'm at home.
Well, here we go. 1 round will do it for Heroic. Guarantee another set of overtime and maybe even 1 step closer to victory. NiP need the clean sweep here to end it right now. 3-0 for them on the T side. Unlikely.
Unlikely indeed. But we'll see what they come up with. Yeah, good shot from Yugi, though, and that's Get Right Down. That's the lurk. That's the player that's been so good on the B site, gone already. And it was toward the end of the first half we saw them getting better and better at taking that position.
Yeah, absolutely. Pushing all the way towards T-spawn multiple times. Well, now they don't need to do that. They have the advantage. They took a bit of damage to get the pick, but that's fine. It's the AWP that goes down. Obviously, no HP on the AWP. Take very long duels, tight angles, and just pick people off. That's all you have to do now.
Maudie wants to snap out toward the sandbags. And he's got a lineup. Oh, he's got a lineup. And it actually, okay, fair enough, works for almost a 1 versus 1, essentially. And a Stag's going to make it much better than that. Double overtime certainly looks secured for Heroic. A team kill, as Rez had to spray through his teammate to get at least 1, and it's down to a 1 versus 3. All that remains.
To the face, and a bit of Molotov damage there as well. It's almost impossible to win this at this point. He's just trying to eradicate risk of that Molotov, trying to buy himself some time. He needs some amazing one-taps right now. They don't even have to face him. Make him plant the bomb. He can't go to another site. There's no time. 20 seconds on the clock. He has to plant. Wait for that. Even if he plants, the money is not a factor right now. You can let him plant. It's going to take him 4 seconds to get that bomb down. No one needs to go near him until he makes that noise. Even if he fakes the plant, go for him. Go now. There we go. Perfect.
Done. Coach Hank, he is available. He accepts 20,000 euros a month if you would like your team to get better from any
that's
division.
If you want the basic package.
That's right, I'm sorry. And the basic package is only available to teams who already have a clue what they're doing. So if you, in the open division, would like a coach, it is 100,000 euros a month. It's fine. He also accepts Bitcoins.
Yeah, primarily Bitcoins preferred. Anyway, that's not too bad at all. Well played by Heroic. That was good fundamentals of Counter-Strike. They take at least a guaranteed double overtime at this point. A lot of pressure applied to the Swedes at this stage. And we will see Snappy. He's been so good at this. He's just been bullying them. This is similar to what Fur was doing at Epicenter, if you remember, just pushing that mid-area relentlessly. And finally, Rez will have an answer. That's Nico shut down at the connector. Yugi at party as well. Snappy has got right behind him there. Oh, good lord. So he won't find anyone, but he'll at least better call. Underpass is clear. This hasn't really worked out for him. The fact he got T-steps was great, but they're going towards long. So it almost cancelled it out, and he got all that intel.
Intel short for intelligence. For those of you who aren't intelligent enough to know that, as Snappy takes down Forest.
That's true. It's good to clarify. Well, 4 on 3. Snappy low. Modi pretty much the only defense at A, and he's in the bathrooms right now. We have got a rotation from S-Tag, primarily a B player, leaving Snappy alone in the B site. So we have got full utility from NiP. I'd like to see them use that. Smoke the bank, smoke CD spawn, Molotov in. S-Tag gets 1, and he makes it a 3 on 3 now.
Modi, good find on Get Right. A Stag still sits in behind the truck. They've pulled this back, and it just barely gets away. He can actually double his position in the fact that even if Snappy goes down, he'll be hot on his heels, ready to trade. As Modi distracts, that's going to give them room to walk into the site. Snappy wants to go aggressive. Low HP, he can afford to do so. Draken does actually get him down, but there's exactly the move this Stag made. He's behind, he's ready to trade. They'll go searching in the corner. Rez gets the kill in return, but now Modi knows where he is, and he's gotten with his head down behind the flower pot. Rez is going to try and bait him. Modi spots him. Well saved.
4 kills for Rez. He's having an absolute blinder here on Overpass. Hits the 30 bomb. It seemed like Heroic had done enough. I think that was like a 4 on 2 at one point. And Rez comes out on top with the AK-47. Gets the job done and keeps NiP afloat in this game. Double overtime now. Their only option. They need this last round. Heroic win it. That's it. We're done. Money, obviously, not really affected at this point. There's no point saving at any point. Last round. Or potentially the start of double overtime.
Potentially the start of double overtime. I think that's it's a possibility. We could be going the distance. Map 1 of the night. Remember, every night on Pro League we have 4. Yugi starts off well by taking down Draken, and they'll back off. Second time they've gone for the boost at long on CT side. They don't go for the flower pot jump. They go for the straight boost. Well struck from Get Right. It'll slow the pace as he pulls it back to a 4 versus 4. Nico aggressive with Rez immediately in front of him is going to actually get taken down first. It looked like Rez was looking just outside of the doorway beside him, but manages to make the shot work, and they'll boost behind the smoke to give Get Right a chance to see inside of the site.
4 on 3. Heroic now on the recovery. One misplay though, could all go wrong. We have got a CT pushed offshore. He's tucking himself in the corner, that's Modi. This is pretty much what decides the game. Doesn't get anything, that's going to be an NiP with an open B bomb site, and presumably we're going to double overtime at this point. We'll see as the bomb goes down. Smokes are good, yeah, this is almost impossible now for the CTs. There are some low HP players, but NiP way too experienced to give this one away.
Way too experienced indeed. Rez, with less experience than that of the organizations and its legends, but still makes the shot work. And Yugi, smoked off, knows that he's being pursued, does get the deagle ready. 1 versus 3 with 15 HP. He'll go desperately toward the site. He may get more than that too if he can find the angle, but Get Right has it, and double overtime secured. We move on. We are not done, Hank.
We are not done. What a way to kick off the first map. Double overtime incoming. Heroic versus NiP. Doesn't sound like the most tantalizing matchup on paper, but we have seen some exciting plays. Rez keeping the dream alive there to reset everything and take us to this position. Once again, we do not swap. It's NiP staying on the T side here, but they just about got through. It took all 6 rounds, but they managed to make it. And the pressure applied to Heroic once again. T sides where you can get a little bit more interesting with attack strategies and mix things up. NiP are usually very good at that, but been running a lot of defaults today. Maybe another toilet break is in store.
Maybe. Well, it seems like that. Oh, I thought I heard the music change. I thought I was going to say it seems like we're readied up, but we'll wait it out every time. Pep talks required for everyone. We got about a minute, from what I understand, before we get underway. So, Heroic looking decent, NiP looking decent. Both teams not getting the same amount of map control that was given to them early on in their T-sided halves, respectively.
I'm loving the pushes from Heroic, though. The fact Snappy...
They've definitely adjusted well to that,
Snappy getting in towards T-steps almost every single time. Like, NiP are really struggling with that. Like, I think finally they're working out a way to stop it being such nuisance by focusing on Long, just getting up there before that even has any impact. But still, like, he has been wild there today. We'll be live in about 30 seconds. So, it was Heroic in the first half of regulation. No, sorry, of overtime. They managed to get the 2-1. Looking to replicate that where possible. It looks like we're underway. We'll see if there's any interesting buys. Maybe an auto sniper comes out. Maybe not. Probably not. Never see on the T side. It's always that CT side. Obviously, it doesn't really make sense on the T side. It's not like you can hold an angle or spray into a smoke. It's really a thing. 33 kills for Rez now. He's the only player. Oh, we got a 30 bomb for Yugi as well.
Yeah, Yugi has been pretty solid this game, so maybe he's making me eat my words about consistency. Snappy toward the stairwell position at mid. He'll go down and back up. They've gotten some information down below, but no one there. It's all out toward B. This is going to be a fast hit from NiP. Has the potential to be. A minute 30 left. There's no reason they need to commit. S-Tag as well is going to try and play inside a monster inside of the smoke if they do get aggressive. He'll be in their face. Patience is a virtue, apparently. Look at the positioning, however, inside of bathrooms. Get Right's made it all the way up toward the A side, not even aware that there's a player to his right, and they're so far forward at A that if he can look to his right and get the kill, if he does, he may just walk in. Okay. If he turns now and found the kill, he's going to force the long rotation. Snappy's realized that there's something up. There's no information, and they're going to realize Get Right was alone. This is when they have to go on B, and Exist does. Good call as he takes down a Stag. But it does open up a little bit of room with a Molotov that'll isolate Modi as well.
Yeah, this is an open B bomb site, really. They'll get a bomb down here. 4 and 4. Advantage NiP. They can actually get nice and close to the choke points there. Forest drops down to the water. Modi with a frag from short, I believe, so that's good work. Takes down Rez, one of the key players for NiP so far on Overpass, top fragger at least. And we'll get into A 4-on-3 where Heroic are coming in quick and Draken misses out on the shot while blind. Snappy takes him down. It's up to Forest now to deliver something world class, and he might just do that. The double spray down comes in. 1 versus 1 exists, low HP. Yogi knows it as well. Molotov's in towards short, but the smoke denies it. Could go for the full defuse here. Looks like he will. Exists has to be brave. Does he go through? Spams it. It's not going to happen. Full defuse comes in. Well played by Yogi. Gets the information that he's low, and he has the pistol out ready to pull the trigger. He can just let go of the bomb, start spamming the CZ. Pretty much aim in Exist's direction. He's going to win the round. Forest did everything he could here. Didn't check that position. He gets the double spray down, but it wasn't enough. Yuki with 2 kills at the end to clutch it out.
Clutch it out. Hold it off. We stay alive.
Exist just had no options. They're smoked out. Low HP. Just spam the bomb and hope for the best.
Meantime, it's Heroic that have a chance to continue and find back-to-back rounds. What a long, drawn-out round the first one was. This game's pace has slowed down considerably since the start. Going the distance. Remember, they still have another map after this as well. Essential maps, you could say, for NiP. Good shot, Nico. Man advantage again for Heroic as they tried to push up long and Draken as well as the one to go down. That's painful. Kind of sucks. Lose your opper early in the round without even finding an opening to work with. Around the corner. Can't get snappy either. Get right, flash himself in, but gets taken down. So 2 men lost to the price of none. It's going to be Nico inside of the site, swinging behind the boxes. Good find. And up on top of the bomb box itself, he's trying to get an elevation above the smoke to catch up. Rez has the angle, but Rez reads it. Good shot back. But unfortunately, they are still in a 4 versus 2 with time against them. 20 seconds. A bomb goes down, hits the deck. Rez is tagged. Round over.
2-0. Heroic look very strong here on the CD side. NiP getting picked off 1 by 1 that round. Finally executing towards A, but no real pressure applied. Heroic just hit the shots as they come. And it will be 2-0. Money still going to be strong, of course, but timeout for NiP. Remaining 0, so this will be the last pause. It's interesting, got to double overtime before that was the thing. Looking for the clean sweep, Heroic. Don't seem to be phased at this point. Nothing really being changed up by the Ninjas. Buying their AKs, their upgraded pistols as well. Might as well spend all the cash now. Heroic won those 2 points. Can you tell me where NiP are in the league right now?
I can look that up for you anytime. ESL Pro League standings.
Quick up.
Quick up. EU standings. Fnatic, FaZe, Astralis, North. Who are you looking for? NiP 7th. Heroic is 12th.
Yeah, so this is a really important game. NiP want to get on the cusp of top 6. Heroic trying to keep out the regulation zone, and Heroic win this. Like, it's be such a gutting result for NiP. This is one of the fixtures you think, okay, this is one of the easier ones, right?
Heroic should pass Godsend. Godsend's played 4 more matches and are only 2 points ahead, so this has been a huge step forward for them as well, but you're right. NiP 7th. Tied with Hellraisers, 1 point behind G2, 3 points behind North, which they could have easily caught up to tonight. North is in a good spot with 38 points in 4th with the least amount of games played. So North actually could make it through. We could end up with North, Astralis, both at the final in Denmark. Not bad for a Danish team. Nico starts off getting get right. Gives them a man advantage again to sweep the first half of overtime. CT side, that would be massive for them.
3-on-2, looking for the 3-0. It's Rez and Draken, the 2 young pups of the NiP roster, making their way in towards the A side. 1 at long, 1 at middle, 1 smoke between them. They've got a Molotov as well, but how do they get into this? Luckily, the A side is pretty much open. They could get a plant out of this if they plant towards the bathrooms area, but they're going to let themselves be known. Smoke in, there's the Molotov as well. Good kill by Modi. That's enough just to take the bomb out of his hands. He might go down, but he's a bit of a martyr in that respect. The fact that he gets the bomb down and makes things very uncomfortable and still a 2-on-1. It's a brave play, the one that really did work out. Rez planting in a dangerous position as 3-0 comes in. Rez won a lot of clutches this game, but that one was a bit of a stretch. He had no idea what was coming behind him. Took a gamble, planted towards the bank. Heroic, very disciplined. I'm loving their sort of approach in these tight clutch situations. They seem to be making the right decisions time and time again. The fact that they sacrificed Molly to try and deny that plan, did it. Dropped the bomb in a really awkward spot. Time running low is guaranteed the round at that point. Even though he ran through the fire as well. A lot of teams will drop a Molotov and just assume, oh, no one's going to run through it. But Modi went through it as soon as it dropped and managed to get the kill. He knew he was going to die, but he knew if he got one kill, that's it. Round over. 3-0.
3-0 indeed. Big performance from Heroic's team overall in this game, but in the last round especially. And now they find themselves in a position where I'm going to be frank, they should close this game out. If they don't now, it's a bit of an issue. Keep an eye on how it transpires at 18, 21, 22. We're done. And NiP needs to sweep all three yet again. Draken, good movement. Double bunny hop. He's going to flash over and let Rez go to peek rather than he with the AWP. Rez will go aggressive. He wants the wall. In fact, I take that back. He doesn't seem to, at least. Flash out toward the playground, then he'll keep his head down, get over top of the smoke, and fall back and be passive. Bomb out toward the playground. It's a little bit more A presence, perhaps, from a Heroic, but no one really committing either way. Looking for picks early.
One round will do it. Shots being fired. That's Draken from the A site. Not connecting this time. He has had some great shots towards that area. Nice flashbang to push everyone towards middle. This looks like an execution. Snappy's lined himself up for a smoke, even when required. So he's watching for anyone to push, but he can still throw the smoke from the bathroom sign at that specific spot. And they've got long control, bathrooms control, and a bit of mid as well. So this is looking idyllic. This is where you just want to get one round on the board. It's Modi that gets dropped by Get Right in the connector. So the execution should come into this point. I expect smokes to be deployed right here, right now. But there we have it. There's the AWP going down. Smokes going in. Nico might want to fall back there in the flames. It's going to be up to Long to try and finish things off here. Get Right now lurking, as he does so well. Brings it into 3-on-2 now. That's a great frag. Keeping the dream alive.
He was alive and well until such time that Snappy finds one in return that will allow, or will it, the bomb plant, because Forrest gets closer, shots spray in. Snappy's going to look to the left, Forrest will show from the right. Exist to get the kill either way, and it's definitely still alive. 21-19. Two more, we go to a third overtime.
Get Right manages to do everything there. Sitting in the smoke for so long. Comes out at the perfect time, of course. Here it is. That's the play. That really does it. Towards Long as well. He knows where everyone is. Just toying with them. 4 kills in total. That's really well done. Can't find the last, but the 2 versus 1 was almost a lock-in at that point. 2 more to go. Looking for triple overtime. NiP with the AWP. Draken got a little bit quiet since overtime segment began. By Rez, good flashbang. Nico, nothing to do there at all, and Forrest denies everyone at the short pipe. More flashbangs, aggressive play from NiP, working out tremendously there. It's going to be a 5-on-2. They want to make this triple overtime. They want to go the full distance.
Absolutely. They don't want to concede the points when they need the most to close out. This is the last week in Pro League. Forrest takes down Snappy. Back turn, dodges the flash, can't find Yugi, who manages at least the kill back, but let's not get too hyped up now, shall we, Sadokist? Because it's 1 versus 4. And NiP gonna bring this to within 1 round with their straight 2. They could reverse sweep this. Why wouldn't they?
We'll see. This round is done. Forrest looking so good there. When you know just 1 round separates you between winning and losing, and you're on the chase, to have those sort of plays when you push to win instead of holding back, trying not to lose, it takes a lot of balls. Like, I'm going to say that. Like, it's really difficult to make those sort of calls. Like, you know, if this push doesn't work out for you and you die with nothing, your teammates go, well, why have you done that?
Why have you done that?
But he gets 3 kills and surprises him. That's what you have to do in overtime. You need to change things up and present new ideas.
Stag will get underpass position, but not control. There's a smoke down in front of him. There is no one contesting, but notable nonetheless that he's held at bay for about 15 seconds. Rez will go back out and maybe probably shouldn't repeat, given that there's 2 players there now for Heroic. Standard execution smokes to cover off bathrooms and a Molotov in front so they can start to clear positions.
Okay, last chance for Heroic to close it out now. Still all 10 players alive. They've got bathrooms control from Reds. He's managed to get multiple frags from this position before because Heroic just didn't flash it. They'll be brave again. But S-Tag will be going down almost certainly there by himself. And the refrag just about comes in. It didn't look like they were together enough there, but still we'll take it. Still the advantage considering we've got a bit of damage on Nico. And the trade came in. 4 and 4. We still have all the nades. Almost nothing for NiP in terms of utility. They've got 1 smoke, 1 incendiary, and we've still got 4 smokes and an execution potential from the Heroic side. The thing is, they get themselves in this position, they just wait a little bit too long before pulling the trigger on the final play. Smoke looks okay, a chance for a get right to be flashed through. It's quite deep, meaning the flashbang doesn't have to be too amazing, just a pop in the air and he can have vision very quickly.
Well, vision quickly, seemingly fine. Good shots back by Madi, however. Forrest goes down. It's a wraparound at Madi. Exist is missed, and Madi's hit a very integral shot. Even though they're down on HP, they're up a man, and the bomb gets planted. It's pressure on for NiP. Smoke as well will cover off the heaven position as Get Right wants ever closer. He'll inch all the way around in toward jungle. Madi's so low, but he's switched his angle. Get Right can't hit the shot. That should call for the peek behind the boards, but he won't. No one electing to commit to the fight. That's going to give Get Right a chance to isolate Snappy. I think he should have gone for the trade sooner. Because the 2-on-2 with Madi low, but somehow gets away. Draken finally hits it, and they may do this. They may pull it off. Yugi's got to go aggressive. There's kits for both players. Quick tap. Yugi's going to be baited into it. Get Right's watching him down, jumps across. Get Right hits it, and triple overtime has been achieved on a reverse sweep from NiP.
This might be another toilet break. We'll see what happens, but we really are getting there now. 21-21. We go into triple overtime, and who would have thought NiP managed to get the 3-0 and the CT side another advantage given away there. It was Modi. They took down Exist. It seemed that was done. Exist missed the key shot on the ramp itself. Pretty much had the AK down his throat, but couldn't connect. And we're doing it. We're all reset once again. It's always NiP that seem to have the advantages when it comes to the fresh overtime. They have the reverse sweep. They had the 2-1, which they converted before. This time the 3-0, which they convert. And that's down the CD side again. If they can find a 3-0 here once more, then they should be able to finish it. But what's the play?
It's the question on everybody's mind, to be honest. What is the play? What's going to change this? What's going to dictate the win? They seem to have matched each other. Well, seemingly have matched each other perfectly. That goes evidently.
Nothing changing, no double orbs. We had that a couple of rounds with Forest and Draken, but Forest been doing so well with the M4s and the AKs. Just keep him on that. Draken can hold his own with the AWP. He'll go towards B, I think, this time. No, he's actually towards the bathroom. It's Rez that gets aggressive at the fountain, pushes their own smoke, and here we go, a chance to pinch them in, and it looks so good, but still equal trades. I thought Exist would get more out of that. It's Draken defining the man advantage. And Stag and Modi now in a difficult position, but we can see the bomb making its way up long very quickly, and Draken can't find the shot. That's the advantage given away. A site open as well. We could actually just get into the A site completely here, and the CTs have no idea. It's Forest to make his way back. What's the play here? Does he focus on middle? Look at the connector. It looks like that will be the play he's making. Still got a chance to go back and look at the A site. As Heroic slow things right down. Modi waiting for any sort of T-steps action. See if anyone will come in behind him. They have got the time to justify that. Still a minute on the clock.
Minute on the clock to work with. 2-2. As even as the game at 21-21, so too the round. Let's Get Right and Forest start to work up. M4s for either of them. AK-47s for both S-Tag and Madi. Madi gets ever closer. In fact, they bypassed the position of Forest. Whether that's beneficial or not, we'll find out, because if they get inside of the site and Forest turns around, they should be relatively open. And the flash is certainly going to confirm that they are behind Forest. That turns his attention. Madi checks it, and Forest has looked away. It's perfect timing, you'd think, but somehow he doesn't hit the shot. He knows they're planting. He tries to get an 8 in. It'll do damage, but he can't get the lineup to follow that damage any further. So as such, with the smoke now down to cover the plant. Madi's able to run away and get toward the stairs. Get Right has gone the other direction. He wants to play off the Forest and play for trades. Good positioning for S-Tag, therefore, because as Get Right gets up, he's in the corner. Good read from Get Right.
It's not bad at all. Modi now with a lot of pressure, has been playing very well today. Going to be challenging anyone getting near the bomb. He knows exactly where it's planted. Behind those boxes, can spam any smoke that comes in towards him. He gets this kill. It should be his, but Get Right really has been having a very good game here on Overpass. 2 more kills for him. And NiP take the lead here in triple overtime. I don't think we've had this at all in Pro League. Triple overtime. We've definitely had double.
Yeah, I don't think we have had a triple this year.
40 kills from Rez.
As you would do, going into a triple overtime situation. 40 kills. We are now at 44 rounds, excuse me, this being the 44th, but 43 rounds done. So just under a kill a round, but still good consistency.
Another default round, nothing done off the bat, but Draken's got a gap in the smoke. Good flashbang though, and he'll potentially walk by. I'm not yet meant to be as Rez. He might find another double kill here. 42 frags for him, but still at 3-on-3. Good trades coming in from Heroic, like we always say. T-sides benefit from equal situations. Maybe even more so if Snappy finds that kill towards the bathrooms. It's Get Right that gets tagged up or fall back. He's got the AK. He's not alone on the A side. He's got Forest joining him, which leaves a lot of pressure on Exist, who has been weak at times on his B side.
At times, but Snappy, found by Get Right, is now given the lead to NiP. And he'll continue to control long. In fact, more so than that, he's going to swing out, try and cover Madi. But Madi gets in between them. Forest needs to be ready for this. Why peeks it? He certainly is. Finds the shot and the bomb. Get Right now controls the long approach. Forest covers off directly in front of him, and Yugi on an AWP has a large task, shall we say.
Indeed. Large gun, large task. Oh!
Small gun, big shot. Takes down Get Right with the deagle.
Well, well, well. He's a bit of a beast with that weapon. He'll get the bomb. Can he find anything else? Time is ticking away now, 20 seconds, but still, this is kind of possible. I'm sort of believing right now. He goes towards B, that's a plan. Lock in, he just has to take a deep breath now and just hope for the best. He just gets in towards B, no point walking. Molotov, the CT entrance, they'll rotate in. He can definitely plan here. In we go. This will be one hell of a clutch. Not for long.
Not for long at all. NiP control it. This finds them 23 rounds. 25 is now our victor, shall we say. But I don't know, Charlie. We might not have a victor at all.
It's not bad.
I thought it was pretty terrible, actually. But I appreciate it.
2-0 for NiP. Looking for their first advantage, really. They've always been on the chase in these overtime segments. Number 3, looking for 24 on the board. 25 will do it, as Matt said. Rez this time goes towards long. He's been very strong at finding opening kills and being a nuisance for Heroic. Remember, NiP were up 15-13 in regulation, couldn't close it out. Now looking likely they can finish things here in triple overtime, no less.
Triple overtime, no less. Exist down, Madi finds the kill. Get Right trades it. Get Right doubles up the trade, and Draken chimes in. It could be a sweep again for NiP. That would be 6 straight rounds in overtime if they accomplish this.
That's right.
Which is pretty damn good. Also, extremely rare. Peter, HLTV, hit me up. When was the last time someone got 6 straight rounds in overtime? Yugi. He never answers me, by the way.
Yeah, well, the boy that cried wolf. If you keep asking, he's going to get bored.
I'm asking for relevant things. Yugi goes back again, flashed off. He's on his own, and he'll go down. I think he's well aware as he jumps around. And NiP with 6 straight, you'd think that a 7th doesn't seem that unlikely, does it?
At this point, I would agree with you. It seems like NiP are firmly in the driving seat now. It's weird they get 6 rounds in a row and they still haven't won overtime, right? Like, there's only 3 rounds and a half. It shows to show you how much they've gone into their final form, perhaps. 1 round will do it on the T side. What replay have we got here, then? And will be Get Right, I believe, on the B bomb side, doing a lovely bit of work there. He had some massive clutches there. So did Rez. Rez, remember, this could have all been over. Rez won that huge 3-on-1 situation with the AK-47. Final bullet on the A bomb side steps. There it is on his scoreboard right now, 24-21. Plucky underdogs, Heroic. Have got some substantial firepower within their roster, but they keep losing key players. Most recently, Valda went to North. Estag has a good game here today, but they're still building up, it feels like, getting ready for the next kind of big event. We'll see what they can do. Always a team to look out for.
We'll see how it all goes down, because this could be it for Heroic. A solitary point might be all they are able to achieve. Yugi will cover off the position for Nico as he climbs and crawls toward long position in behind the flower party. You can hear them on the other side. No. Flash over, covers off the op. Now he's got to get the chance to strike, and they read it. Down goes Nico. Good read from Exist. Good peek. Gets them back to 4-4 because they did lose the opening pick otherwise.
It's Get Rather goes down first. It seems like Heroic have firmly got his number. Using the right flash at the start, a little push towards Monster. Take him down and fall back. But of course, Exist did find Nico at the same time. Doesn't really help Heroic out too much, but they know the threat of B has been neutralized, at least for now. We have got Bathrooms control, smokes available, Molotovs as well. Bomb at the top and middle, so they could fall back and go B if they wanted to. But they've lost vision at that side of the map. They can't really go through T-spawn or connected. It costs them so much time right now, which is ticking away. It's much safer to go for these. They execute, or maybe not. Snappy does find one. They are getting equal trades here, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone at full HP. Draken at the end of long with the orb. He'll probably look towards CT spawn any second now. He wants to be flashed in by his teammates potentially. Here comes a flash from Rez. 3-2-1. And now we'll have the orb peak come in.
Should do. Draken crawling desperately to find the angle. Yugi gets one behind Truck. Draken bites it. Bites too soon, but Rez is there to follow it up. 2 versus 2 with site control to an IP. They've got to go back to get the bomb. Rez will do so. That gives a chance to strike to Madi. He's caught the Molotov, but goes aggressive, and Draken can't find it on the AWP. Good trade, therefore, by Rez, and he's got to clutch it. The young boy's left to take down a Stag, and he will take his time because he has a kit, no smoke. As Rez holds long and waits to see if he'll present himself.
Estag thinks he's in bank. He's wasting a lot of time here. He'll be very far gone before he even touches the bomb at this point. One flashbang to work with. He seems certain he's at bank. Full defuse now, a little bit desperate, and he might actually put it off too.
My goodness.
1, and Rez has done it. Another clutch for him. 3 more frags in the bag. Brings his total to an astronomical amount, and well over 40. I think he's like 47 to finish things off there. So many key clutches. One of them in double overtime to keep the dream alive, to even get them to this position, and one to close it out as well. He's certainly the MVP of this map. And you have to say that although it's triple overtime, it's very exhausting for all the players. We still kept a decent level of CS there. In regulation, I would say that's when it was at its poorest. That's when we lacked out on the execution there. But map, that's enough from us. We'll see what the Analyst made of this one.